I've been. It's about time that we finally got together. I got the boys here. We've got Abby and we've got Tim. It's going to be an incredible moment to be able to talk about all things wrestling, especially this week because this is our Super Bowl. This is WrestleMania week. We just got done watching Raw. And so we're about to just break some things down. So lace up your boots, grab a steel chair, and let's get to talking about our favorite thing. Boys, it's good to see y'all.
Fire, bro. Fire.
What up, man? Dude, that freaking intro, man, dude. I'm hyped now, dude. Grab a steel chair. I'm about to
That was,
Hey.
bro.
I'm about to go buy one at Walmart right now. I was like, I gotta get me a steel chair, dude.
For real.
No, it's gonna-
Why don't I own a steel chair? That's
Exactly.
crazy. It's ludicrous, right?
Watching wrestling all
well-
this time, dude. Never once thought to myself, hey, let me buy one of those steel chairs.
Most of the
You never
time
know when you got to
when it
defend
was
your house, dude.
most of the
Oh,
time
bro.
when it was my brother, my parents would want to just like destroy us because we would always break their cookie sheets because we were like it just made the perfect sound. So you really didn't
So
hurt
good.
anybody, but it sounded like you just destroyed somebody's skull with like
It's
a cookie sheet. So
bong. It's like this loud thud, and they're just like, "Dang, we're not having cookies tonight."
And speaking of chair shots, we got a chair shot today on Raw that was reminiscent of June 2014. That's the way Raw ended today, with a infamous chair shot. So
incredible long-term storytelling.
it's a great callback for me. Great callback. It was Seth standing tall at the end of Raw after a chair shot to Roman. What is going to happen?
I have no clue how they're going to be able to find out who's going to pin who in that match when it comes to
I know.
WrestleMania. That
It's
is
crazy.
going to be, it's going to be insane. So, yeah, let's recap actually what happened tonight. We might as well start off. We have the go home show of Raw, which happened tonight. It was incredible. I just can't believe that we're here. It kind of feels like WrestleMania, but at the same time, I feel like we still have like 2 or 3 weeks before WrestleMania, but it's in 5 days.
It is, man. If it's so WrestleMania is so late this year, but it's like doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania. But
Yeah.
also, yes, it does. But then it doesn't. But no, it's here. It's
We all
here.
worked in ministry. It feels like Easter more than it does like WrestleMania.
Wait, it feels like Easter? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, he is risen, and by him we mean the Undertaker.
Oh, bong.
Gone. Oh, what kicked off Raw? What opened up again?
So we had actually Gunther coming out and having
Gunther
a
came out.
fire promo. I think that was
Yeah.
something we've been waiting for a couple weeks now, and we finally got it. Yeah,
Especially since last week it was Jay's promo and Gunther just stood in the ring
yeah,
like a punk and just took it, which I was
Yeah.
a little upset about. But he came with fire today.
Yeah.
I think
He had
Tim,
to, dude. He was getting booed like crazy at first. And then like I was talking to you guys like while we were watching, I was like, dude, he's getting booed like he's Dom Mysterio. Like out there.
Yep.
Like it was heavy booing. And he took offense to that and decided to like you could almost feel that anger coming out of him as he was like yelling and everything too. I was like, dang, this
I
about
felt
to
like
be
he was
intense.
really angry. Like
Yeah.
No,
if I was him, I'd be mad too.
I really think that they did this whole buildup really the opposite way that they could have won it. They had so much turmoil and beating each other up at the beginning, and then they finally started having fire promos, and then they didn't beat each other up at all. They didn't touch each other at all. It's just the total opposite of what we're used to. We're used to doing like fire promo, a little bit of respect. Respect is broken. Now we're just beating the crap out of each other, and now we're going. So it just completely. But the Jimmy thing flipped everything for the positive.
Yeah.
The Jimmy thing injected life
Bro,
Yeah,
shout out
to
to
that
shout out Jimmy
rivalry.
Uso, man, for taking all that, dude, to help
Bro,
promote his brother's match. You know what I mean? Like
Jimmy's the hero in this story.
Yeah. Which I think we all agree that Jimmy is the better person on the mic. Like he's the better promoter. Jay has got the fire, but like Jimmy he's always been the best one on the microphone between the two of them. So
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Jimmy's better. He has better charisma.
mhm.
He just caught fire with Jay after the Bloodline story where once they got out, and he just caught fire with Yeet. He found it. He found it with the crowd, and so you get rewarded when you get the crowd on fire like that. And so,
He found the heat
100%.
while he was drunk too, which is crazy.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Hey,
that was what
we
a
believe in.
that was a tag team match with him and Cody. Is that what it was?
Oh
It
yeah,
was
you're talking
because
about when
they
they
were
won the
tag team
titles.
champions. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
Yeah,
tag team champions. That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's how that whole thing started. Was when they had the after the PLE, they had that little like what do they call those things backstage, like
the press
the
conference.
press conferences,
Yeah,
and he was
That's right.
just
It was just boom, and it caught fire.
and went
Crazy.
nuts. So we did have that. We also got to see a little preview of Liv Morgan versus Lyra Valkyria, or sorry, versus Bailey. The
Haley, yeah.
Lyra, she pulled a little swerve in the match when she actually stopped from the Oblivion from happening. I was like,
Oblivion. Yeah, that was pretty
okay.
dope. Yeah.
I was like, all right, we got a babyface doing a little heel action for a second there to help
Yeah.
out her partner. So I think it's
That
just to
happened twice.
establish. I think it was just to establish that they can be a tag team. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys agree that they should have been in this match? Like, or I don't know.
Bailey and Lyra.
Yeah.
So through the internet vines, I read a bunch of stuff. Someone pointed it out and was like, "This is a way to put Lyra on the card." But I almost feel like she's your IC champion, your women's
Yeah.
IC champion.
Yeah.
She should have a match for the IC title. Like, I don't know why she isn't. Like,
Yeah.
there's a a pool of women to pick from that you could have done something. I don't know if Becky not coming back like made these changes happen. Could
Hmm.
be. I don't know. But it's a way to put her on the card as well as Bailey.
Yeah.
Um,
But you know
so
what's really upsetting though is like if you think about it, you don't have the women's US title or the Intercontinental title on the WrestleMania. And we're going to talk about the WrestleMania card just here in a few moments,
why
but
aren't they on there? Yeah.
you don't have Chelsea Green on
Mind blown, bro.
WrestleMania, and she's like one of the most fire women in the division right now.
One of
And
the
you don't
most
have
over
her.
in yeah.
You didn't have her. You didn't have her wrestle on Elimination Chamber in her home country, and you didn't have her on WrestleMania. Something that ain't right to me. That's just not right to
Nah,
me. So
it's not. It's not. They had that. What was after that? Was it the
um so
I
we
just
we
watched it or don't remember it.
yeah. So we had a couple other things that we ended up
I see.
seeing. We saw of course Braun Breaker get beat up after his interview
bro, the double
from
spear from Braun. Bro, that double spear was crazy.
the double spear. Hey,
Double spear was
we're going to
crazy.
talk about it, but that Intercontinental Championship match is really building up to something, and
Mhm.
I cannot wait to see how they're going to do that. I don't know. We'll talk about who we think that should get the title later on, but that build has actually been pretty entertaining. Penta has just been on fire since he's got to WWE. I mean, his brother is on fire after just 2 weeks.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix was
SmackDown,
good,
Ray
yeah.
Phoenix is incredible. But I love the dynamic that we have of Dominic and Finn Balor, which I really believe that something's going to happen between those two in that match, and there's going to be a little
Now,
breakup.
the Fatal 4 alone is dope because of the players, the participants. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good match, really good
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
I do think there is gonna be a swerve. There's
yeah,
gonna be specifically because of the 2 Judgment Day characters, and so.
yeah,
But it's gonna be entertaining for sure. We had Ray versus Julius Creed,
yep.
Rey Mysterio, which that kind of just promoted the El Grande Americano.
Bro,
My
the greatest luchador wrestler.
That's
in
Tim's
history.
favorite right now.
That's the greatest one right there. Here's the thing.
Let's-
and now, I got nothing against Rey Mysterio, man. I love the guy. He's a legend, but Grande Americano, man, I mean, he's got too much history in the sport. You can't argue Rey Mysterio has anything to offer Grande Americano. If you see what Grande Americano's doing, the headbutt, dude, like that is a flawless headbutt. Obviously, you're seeing dudes get like KO'd out cold from it. It's talent, dude. You can't hide that,
I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of El Grande Americano, it is criminal that Chad Gable's not on this WrestleMania card. Though.
I'm just devastated.
Yeah.
devastated.
I hope he can somehow make it to be like in his corner. Like let Chad Gable be like the Paul Heyman to Grande Americano. You know
That
what I mean?
yeah.
Something, man. Yeah.
The wise man
I
Chad
saw
Gable.
I saw this the other day. I think Tim's gonna really enjoy this one because we talk about R-Truth a lot, but it was like somebody made like a cartoon skit, and it was R-Truth talking to a Grande Americano, and Grande Americano saying, R-Truth, I'm not Chad Gable. And he's all like, Chad Gable, I know who's under there, John Cena.
My hero.
He called him John Cena. Oh man. So yeah, we had that happen. Can I tell you what were you gonna say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm excited about something that happened tonight that I can't believe we haven't talked about yet. We got the in-ring comeback of Karrion Kross.
Yep, that was what I was gonna say. AJ versus Karrion
What?
it was a good match. It was a good
Uh,
match.
he got his old entrance back.
Got his old
Like, and
entrance
Michael
back.
Cole talked the snot out of that entrance. Like, I wish he wouldn't have talked over it the whole time, but like, it was
He did.
he
Dang
talked
you,
over the
Michael
whole
Cole.
time.
Like, shut
But
up, Michael Cole.
what's funny about this is me and Tim at the office were talking about this. Like, man, does Karrion ever like wrestle? I'm like, I'm telling you, Karrion knows how to wrestle. I can't believe he wrestled today. I was like, what? So
Yeah, because for the last couple weeks, it's just been backstage cut-ins where he
I
was
feel like it's been
trying to.
months.
Yeah.
Actually, probably been months. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like watching. I haven't been watching it as long as you guys, so I'm sitting there looking at Ken. And I'm like, who the heck is this guy? I was like, why does he keep like stepping in like over the shoulder? Who did I compare him to? Like some older. He almost felt to me like the damn guy from back in the day. What was his name?
Ron Simmons.
Ron. I was like, not
Ron Simmons?
no, like how he just like shows up randomly and like he's like
Oh,
always.
okay.
I'm just like, this dude's coming out of nowhere and like I have no idea who he is. And then you
Gotcha.
explained to me he's a pretty good wrestler, and I was like, well. I feel bad for not knowing who he was, but yeah, tonight obviously
Yeah.
that was a good show between him and AJ Styles.
Yeah, it was cool. That finisher that Logan Paul's got is probably one of the best
Pulverizer.
finishers right now,
The Japanese
like
force
in the
one?
WWE.
The pulverizer. Let's just say about the Logan Paul promo. He had a dope line in that video. In that dope, he was like, "Y'all could keep pressing your keyboards. I'm on billboards or something like
I'm
that."
on bill.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
was
Keep
like,
pressing your keyboards. I'm
"Keep
gonna
pressing
keep
your
on being on billboards or whatever. I
I
was
was
like,
like,
gosh.
You know what's
dope
funny?
line.
You guys see that behind the scenes video of him talking to Triple H about how he's on the side of the billboard and he thinks he should be in the center of it?
Yeah, I saw that.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
see
yeah,
that
you
so
on the
video.
billboard, bro.
ridiculous.
You on the end of the billboard. I'm like, you barely
Yeah,
made
he's
the
so
cover.
stupid. He's so
No,
dumb.
I
can't.
actually legit enjoy Logan Paul though on WWE. So
Yeah, he's doing
I
an
think he's a
incredible
great
job.
character. He's doing
Mhm.
a great heel work. Great heel
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yep. So we had that. What were you
The
gonna
J
say?
promo. The J
We had the J
promo was after
promo,
that.
really just hyping up the crowd, just basically saying, "Hey, guess what? Who's afraid now? You're afraid of me." So he
Yeet,
swerved it and did that whole
yeet,
thing. Did the
yeet.
yeets?
Crowd can't
Yep.
You know,
never stop.
that's
Yeet.
2 weeks. That's 2 weeks in a row that Jay had to, at one moment, tell the crowd to stop yeeting. Like, because he was talking, trying to deliver the promo. Like
Yep.
last week's when he was the serious Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he would talk, the crowd would go yeet, and he's like, "Hold on, stop! I'm trying to deliver the promo of my life right here." And then
Yeah.
today he had to do it again, but then he rewarded them by doing a encore. So
Yeah. So it's gonna be good. I'm excited about that match. I really was kind of worried about that match for a while, but again, when Jimmy came
I'm
in, and then
actually still worried because I don't know. Like when we get to the predictions, I don't know
yeah.
where they go with the story. So
Funniest thing about that, Tim just showed me something that was really cool. It was making me laugh really hard. It was like that Ready to Rumble, like old school video game, and it was just chops from Gunther and just kicks from Jay. Like saying
It was
that's
like,
going to be.
this is the preview of the match. Just chop, kick.
hold on, you
So-
got to throw in one Jay jumping over the top rope. Hopefully he makes it.
Got
Yeah,
one of
hopefully
these
next
from
time.
Jay too.
One of those stole that from his cousin or whatever. Got from The Rock with the big people's punch.
Yeah.
And then you get that crazy looking power bomb by Gunther. So 4 moves in that whole match. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we had two more. The two other things that I could think of that are really, really important. We already talked about the whole intercontinental thing that happened. I just want to
Yeah.
talk about how like Carlito, he learned from his mistake last week and he ran away
He just
and he
ran
didn't
to
want
the
it.
ring.
He didn't
Now
want
was he a part of the double spear though? Who got double speared?
It was him and Dom.
Him and Dom. That I was gonna say I couldn't remember who it was, bro.
Yeah.
Double spear. That needs to be a thing more often, man. Like, I thought I loved double stuffed Oreos. Give me a double spear. All right. That was freaking sick. And they sold it like crazy. I was like,
I wonder
these
now,
dudes are
I
dead.
wonder if, being a Fatal 4, if we might get a triple spear on Saturday.
Yo,
Man.
if he pulls that off. Because, like, him just doing the spear over and over again, like back and forth, spearing everybody,
If
like,
he
by
spears
itself.
3 people 3 times, like, okay, yeah, that's normal.
I'm like, oh,
But you
cool.
get
Braun Breaker doing a
lined
spear.
up,
Okay, Jey Uso doing a super kick. What else we got? You know what I mean? Like,
crazy.
So, and then of course we got to talk about what happened at the very end here. We kind of already hinted at it.
You had
That
Heyman
match.
waiting in the back. Heyman was
Here's-
waiting outside, waiting for Roman to come. And the moment Roman comes, CM Punk is sitting next to him. And that's all that Roman sees. It was beautiful. He was so mad.
Oh
Dude,
my gosh.
this is where predictions are going to just take over for the weekend on this part of the conversation because man, I got like some crazy theory stuff going on, and I don't know if it's too wild, but it has to do with a lot
You
of
want
the
to go?
promo stuff. But I'll
Yeah.
let you guys go first.
Okay. So I know that we still have a go home show on SmackDown. That's going to happen. Abby, anything that you're looking forward to on that you want to see before? Like, I mean, the hardest part about doing a go home show the night before WrestleMania is they can't go that hard because they don't want anybody to get hurt 24 hours beforehand. And B, it's like, what can you tell? I mean, really, just the John Cena, Cody Rhodes stuff is probably the best thing to do. But it's like, what can you tell to go to the next level that's in the next 24, 48 hours? Like, what can happen?
Yeah, only 3 things really are confirmed for Friday. Is Cena's appearing, Cody's appearing, and unfortunately, they got the World Tag Team or the WWE Tag Team Championship with the
Yeah.
Street Profits and the Motor City Machine Gun on
What a
WrestleMania
shame.
SmackDown.
What a
Which that's a
shame.
travesty. That match should have been at WrestleMania because honestly, for the last couple of weeks, that's been the hottest thing on SmackDown. Is that all those 4 teams battling for the tag team titles? You had the Street Profits, DIY, Motor City, and even Pretty Deadly was in that mix. And so that's a trash. So those are the only things confirmed
Yeah.
for SmackDown. I think we might get a women's US title match, seeing as how last week's ended on a
The
DQ,
way that it happened with the
which
DQ.
it looked like that was a mess up, but it's still Chelsea's playing it so well.
Yeah.
She's like suing WWE and the
I
ref. It's
love it.
brilliant. I love her. The fact that she's not on WrestleMania, I don't know if we mentioned
It's
that already. Another travesty.
it's just
crazy.
ridiculous.
Was
And
there
so those
anything
are the
with
only things that I think.
with the women's triple threat match for the belt? Did we talk about that at all?
Oh,
We had those
so
promo
there were
packages.
promos.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of them did a promo
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Which
bro, Io
that
Sky's
that match,
bro, she
Io
was hitting it with
Sky.
like her native tongue, bro. I was like, oh snap.
I think she's doing her best like face work right now. It's
Yep.
crazy.
And let me tell you
I
something.
thought it was a mistake to take the belt off of Rhea. Not anymore, bro.
And let me tell you, you just went into where I was about to go to. I really believe that they are trying their best to make the heel Rhea, but the crowd will just Stone Cold Steve Austin her the whole time.
Yeah.
And she could be as much of a heel as possible if she wants to, because her promo package was a heel package. Talk about her being the bad guy. Talk about how, like, you want the bad guy, I'm going to show you the bad guy. Like, I'm going to get what's rightfully mine that I didn't lose.
Actually, now
And
that you say that, Bianca's promo was like almost like almost like essentially I heard you guys booing me, or she didn't say that, but it was like y'all could get mad at me, but I'm telling the truth. Like, so that's what she said, and I was like,
Yep.
because they're booing Bianca.
Yep.
Now, and so
Bro.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
give-
interesting, bro.
You give someone like Rhea the nickname Mommy, like you're not ever getting a heel out of her ever again, dude. like not
No.
a natural reaction from like the crowd heel. Like the crowd's gonna love her. They're gonna
Yeah.
simp for Mommy till she's
Yeah.
gone. So
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know if you guys watched it. I haven't, but I just watched the clips. but her episode on Stephanie's Places
Good call.
humanized her.
Yes.
It like made her a lovable person.
I was gonna
And
say,
so
shout out to Stephanie's Places. The whole thing with Peyton Manning's production, it's been incredible. The Rhea one was awesome. I thought it was really, really good. They had the Cody one. They start with the CM Punk one. They still have
got the
Charlotte
Stone
Flair to
Cold one.
do. They have they have Stone Cold by himself.
That's the one they previewed today.
Was the Stone Cold one is next?
Yeah, is next.
Sweet,
That's
sweet.
cool.
Which I loved that they showed Stone Cold talking to Stephanie about Rhea and how much kudos Stone Cold gave Rhea.
That was
That's
crazy,
huge.
bro.
I'm
To hear Stone
curious.
Cold say that,
I'm curious if they're gonna be using this Stephanie's Places thing to ever like have like hints towards like what's to come as well. Not just like, yeah, this is like, because I think what it is like it's gonna probably make you almost out of the character and just into like who the person is as like the character, and then, but I think there's still gonna be a playing character factor in some of the conversations. Like you're gonna hear things. When does that episode with Stone Cold release?
Wednesday.
This week. Okay, so it's
Yep,
before
this week.
Mania. So I'm like,
It's right
I'm-
before Mania.
I'm curious if there's gonna be something that hints that like, you know, if I have to show up.
To
and
be
do something,
fair,
you know what I
though,
mean?
to be fair, I'm pretty positive they recorded that months ago.
Oh, 100%. But they know when they're
So-
going to release them too.
Right. So there could be some stuff, but it was months ago. The preview
Yeah.
they showed on Raw was Stephanie driving in
The
in one of Stone
ATV,
Cold's one of his
Yeah, yeah,
ATVs down a dirt road. It's pretty fun. Looked
pretty
fun.
sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
well, since we're
SmackDown should deliver.
yeah,
That's all that I know. That is confirmed. We might get some more stuff. So they have to make it a big go home, especially with Cody and Cena on
Yep.
there. There's
Yep.
going to be some high leverage matches on there, like the tag team title. They might do some other stuff. So they might, or they might not even do that because they're trying to push everyone to go to the Hall of Fame, which is taking place in another arena, not the same arena. So
Is
yeah.
the Hall of Fame gonna be like a separate time from like SmackDown?
yeah, so yeah.
Because I'm sure some of
So
the
the-
athletes want to go and attend that, right?
So the Hall of Fame ceremony is taking place at 10 p.m. Vegas time.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 o'clock for you, Abby. Man, you gonna be up?
1 a.m.
It's
I
gonna
don't
be a
know.
long-
I want to see Triple H get inducted, but do I love him that much? I could
Easter
just-
weekend. I know.
I could
it's
just
like-
I could just rewatch it on Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, since we're already
Alright.
here, guys, well, let's just go straight into it. The thing that I'm sure everybody's wanting to hear is what our predictions are for night 1 and night 2. And we have the card. I'm going to put an asterisk next to saying we have the card because we're still trying to figure out if Randy's got the way that they're building it. Randy's going to get a match. We just don't know who he's going to
That's
get a
true.
match with. So how about we start with that before we actually do the card? Do we believe that Randy Orton is going to have a match? And if you do, who do you think it should be with?
So the way they did it on last Friday when he came out with Nick, everyone's pushing for Nick. I'm like, okay, Nick could be. He's in great shape. When
Yeah.
Solo came out, at first I was like, no, what? Then I started thinking, I'm like, oh wait, why isn't Solo on the match card? Why doesn't he have a match? And is there a story to follow through with Randy and Solo? Maybe it's a reach, but that's a way to put them both on a card. It's not the best idea, but given the KO injury and everything, is there a better idea than Solo? I don't know. Other people were saying Sammy, throw Sammy in there.
Bro, I forgot about Sammy. Not gonna lie, dude. Like he's just.
Why isn't Sammy on the card, bro? He was pretty.
He had a good
He had
year.
that great run with the IC title after beating Gunther, and then now he did the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline thing, and now he's not on the card. Like this is weird.
Was Sammy a part of the bloodline whenever Randy got hurt?
Mm. When Randy got
Yeah.
hurt, no, because Randy got hurt on the post WrestleMania.
Actually,
It was
no,
part-
he wasn't. Yeah,
It was post
trying to think.
WrestleMania Bloodline.
Would he have any kind of like hate towards Sammy since he was part of the bloodline from that? Is what I was trying to think.
You want to know why I say no?
You can
Because
stretch it to say you were part of that group that took me out. That's the stretch, but you
Yeah.
don't have enough time to tell that story now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's
I mean,
like a
4 days
brutal
away.
attack or something like that's like behind the scenes on Friday. Maybe it's like Randy Orton is like going after anyone who's ever tied a shoelace with in the same room.
Here's what I think will happen. I think we're gonna get John Cena's story from when he fought Undertaker at WrestleMania for that 3-minute squash match. That's what we're gonna get for Randy this weekend.
let me also throw something out there, because Seth Rollins did the same thing in 38, where we did not know if he was going. Like they said, he's got to have a match. He's got to have a match. He ended up having a match. Who did he have a match with? A returning Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
Is there a possibility of somebody returning like a Rusev, who is signed? I heard was official. He's back with the WWE. I don't think it's going to be Aleister Black. Only reason why I say that is because his hints, which I think we'd all can agree that that's for Aleister, all those
It
crazy
has
things.
to be. It has to be.
They keep on putting 4s and
They didn't show
25s.
them today, by the way.
I think it's the 4s and the 25s. I think it's for April 25th, which happens to be a SmackDown, which is the Friday after WrestleMania, for him to debut. So I think that that's when he's going to do. But if Rusev comes back, that would be kind of cool to see that. But I also agree with you with the Solo thing. I hated when I saw Solo come out. I was so mad. I actually wanted to like throw something at the TV. But I then thought about how everybody wasn't just building up for Kevin and Randy. They wanted to build for Randy kicking Kevin in the head. So I think the pop would be nuts if he kicked Solo in the face with a punt. Everybody wanted to see the punt.
The punt.
Why
Yeah.
not do the
They
because
teased it.
I believe that the voices coming back in his head is going to be long-term storytelling for him to become a heel again, and then he's going to set up a thing with Cody Rhodes. And I
he's
just
gonna
think that
betray
that's
Cody.
where they're going. That's why this punt is coming back. That's why the voices are coming back. The sadistic Randy, like he's going back to like WrestleMania 25 Randy. That's what I want him to get to.
Which is the best Randy.
Yes.
I mean, this
yes.
Randy is great. I love him. I love this. I love Randy. Randy's great.
Yeah.
But that legend killer, that Randy,
that Randy.
cinema, bro. Cinema.
Yep. So let's talk about the card real quick. So first thing we have on there, now these are not in the order, but this is just, I'm going to go from bottom to top because of the order that they put it on here online. So we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. We got our first women's match without a title involved in WrestleMania. So
and it has a great story with it too.
Great story.
A great story.
Again, we're looking at who do we think is going to win, or who do we think two things.
Who do you think is going to win, and two, who needs to win?
Good call. Who needs to win? Yeah.
From an outside perspective here, because I'm gonna assume Naomi wins. Because I'm gonna guess that also Bianca's not going to win, and then I think those two will like get together, and I think something with Bianca and Jade will happen in the future down the road. So I think for long-term storytelling, I think Naomi would win. That's my guess. So.
Okay.
It's hard because I think Naomi needs to win.
Yeah.
But they both of them need a win.
Yeah.
So it's like, but in my estimation, the one who needs to win more is Naomi because of the turn. Like this turn, you can't do the turn and then not pay it off. Which remember that for Sunday's card.
Yeah.
You can't do the turn and then not pay it off because then the turn is pointless.
Yeah.
And she's doing great work as this heel.
It's
as
great.
great as she can. You know, the seriousness, the evilness, the proceed with caution thing that she's going with.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And I almost want to say that there's going to be interference of some kind. And it might be Bianca's, I don't know, trying to save them, but it ends up doing something. I don't know. People might not like that from a story angle. But my prediction is Naomi wins. And I think she needs to win more.
Okay. I agree with you on who needs the win is Naomi, but I think that the WWE way is going to go to Jade Cargill because she's going to be the money that's going to be like just going towards probably a Bianca Jade championship match at the first 2-night SummerSlam. I just think that that's where they're probably going to go to it. Naomi, though, if she doesn't get the win, she needs to have a banger of a match. And I think that it needs to be the thing about all these matches we're about to talk about. None of these can go short because there's so much good storytelling going on. It would be a disservice for any of these things to go short. But I think that, yeah, Naomi, I think she needs to win, but I think they're going to give it to Jade. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Cool.
little I feel like Naomi's character right now, like she doesn't have a lot going for us. I think like character wise, she needs this one is like also like the angle that I'm seeing because I think Jade is
Yeah.
going to be Jade no matter if she wins or loses. I think people still enjoy her seeing her come out. I think they like seeing her as kind of like a heel sense, you know.
Mm.
So
Has
and
she
I actually
lost?
who Jade?
Yeah,
Um,
I think. Well, yeah,
She,
they lost the tag team titles.
yeah.
Um,
but she wasn't a part of that. She
she
didn't
didn't
lose.
lose them with Bianca. I
No,
thought she
because she was
lost them with
out.
Bianca and then re-won them
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bianca,
They had
and
two.
then
They had
got
two.
her, and
You're
then
right.
that's when Naomi took her
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, but I don't think
Uh,
she's ever ate a pin yet, though.
no, that's the thing. Yeah, she hasn't eaten the pin.
So
So
Hmm.
I
we'll see what
I
happens.
agree with what you said, KB.
Yeah.
So the machine that is WWE might put it on Jade because they're trying to
Yeah.
build her up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of building up, the next one we got on here is Rey Mysterio versus the build up right now of El Grande Americano.
Dude, the greatest luchador of all time. You're not going to
Who's
find
hailed
anyone
from
better,
the
dude.
Gulf of America.
Is that literally what it
Great.
says? Is that the
Yes.
lore?
Yes.
In the promo, they put he's from Mexico, but they showed the Gulf and put Gulf of America. It
Could you
was
haven't heard-
brilliant.
Could you imagine if they like made up some random island in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and was like, he's
From the
from
Gulf
here,
of-
like he's from this tribe of Grandes
Wait.
or something ridiculous.
Tim, are you telling me how much of a El Grande Americano fan you are? You haven't heard that every time that they announce him to go to the ring, they say hailing from the Gulf of America.
I have not heard that
Is-
once. I'm usually working or
is-
texting or something, so I'm like not paying attention. But
Do they really hail him from there?
Yes.
that is
Oh my
crazy.
gosh!
The
I was just
announcers say it.
referencing the from the first promo video.
Nah,
that
go
showed
back
him.
and
It
watch
said,
his first match. Like
I'm
they
gonna
say,
go
she
back.
says
That's
from the
crazy.
Gulf of America, and
Dude,
I lost my mind.
They should have
That's
made
brilliant.
his walkout song that we know speak Americano song. You know what I'm talking about? Pop out Americano. Dun, dun, dun. Like that would have been perfect because it would have been so
Oh my
gimmicky and so
gosh.
goofy, dude. And the crowd would always
It's
get
great.
lit. Dude.
He's definitely reaching into his, let's just be honest, Chad Gable is definitely, and he's succeeding, he's definitely reaching into his Kurt Angle bag, and he's doing a great job with it. This is something Kurt
Oh,
would have
yeah.
done.
Yeah,
This
but
is something
I
that Kurt
think
would have done.
that's irrelevant now because we're talking about Grande Americano and
Oh,
Rey
my bad. I'm
Mysterio.
sorry.
Yeah,
My bad. My bad. I forgot
Chad
they're not the
Gable-
same person.
Chad Gable
Yeah,
literally,
Chad Gable's not. He's not in this match yet.
dude. Grande Americano would never not like go to a match because of the sniffles. Okay, so
Hmm.
Doctor's orders, bro.
That's
Doctor's
just,
orders.
that's not in Grande Americano's, what do you call it, repertoire? You know what I mean? Like that's not one of his things. So
You're about right.
Bro.
You're about right. Who's going to
Bro.
win this
On a,
one?
on a serious note, though, this match should have been on WrestleMania SmackDown, not the WWE Tag Team title. But it's Rey Mysterio. You got to give him a WrestleMania match.
Yep.
If any of these matches go short, it'll probably
It's
be
going to
this
be this one. Yep.
But El Grande America, they're gonna make a spectacle of his entrance. I would assess as much,
Who do you think is gonna win?
and it's gonna be. So my prediction is Rey Mysterio wins, but I think El Grande Americano needs the win.
Hmm.
Especially like
So I'm taking KB's Jade Naomi dilemma
Hmm.
or prediction and putting it here, because El Grande Americano is a great character that you introduced again. Like you're trying to build him up. You gave him a great vignette video package to lose. I don't know.
yeah, no, I think Rey Mysterio, like his time. I mean, he doesn't got much left. I don't see him being Grande Americano, especially him being in his prime. You know what I mean? Like this is Grand Americano's prime that we're seeing here. You know what I mean? Like, what are you
What
laughing at?
what's yours, KB?
I really, I really think. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit farther in this. If Ray wins this match, it is because he demasked El Grande Americano, and I think
That's KB. That's brilliant.
I think
That's
that's
brilliant.
why not have the man who doesn't get to get unmasked unmask the guy?
That would be
Like the
crazy.
I mean,
whole
but there's story element to that because he unmasked
yes,
Dragon Lee, right?
yes, he did.
So he on one of his first matches, he unmasked him.
Masked him and pinned
So
him.
this will be a great like moment. You unmask him,
Yeah,
realize we don't know who it is. Could be Chad Gable. I don't
Chad
know.
Gable.
No, dude, it's
Gracias.
that dude that was.
Oh, why did I just do that?
That's so funny, dude. The Discord.
Yeah.
What is it? You do this and it does it? Or is it just your computer because you are you using the Mac?
Yes.
All right, that's funny. We're
not
gonna
gonna
leave
do
that in
never
there. We're gonna
again.
leave that in there, ladies and gentlemen. That's making
No,
the final cut right
gosh,
there.
I'm crying for that. That was
Actually, I'm
ridiculous.
gonna because you said that I might change my prediction. I think Ray does win because of that. That's great. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
that might be wild.
I'm switching it up on that. Actually, I'm gonna assume that they're gonna hint at it. That he's gonna like. I think he's gonna try to take the mask off, and you might even get like Spider-Man like upside down making out with Mary Jane halfway up, and then something's gonna happen. Maybe he yanks it back down. He does the headbutt or something, or he does some sort of way to like cheat out of it. Because Grande Americano, let's face it, he gets a lot of his moves from the late great Eddie Guerrero. With his in-ring antics. So
Yeah,
I think he'll pull some Eddie Guerrero type move and flip it around, and I think he will actually win because he's the.
but I was gonna say something.
Go ahead.
What will happen if I like what you're doing? Because what will happen if Ray? Listen to this. What will happen if Ray, because he's the good guy, is about to want to like unmask him, but he can't do it because he knows that's not the luchador way. And that is his demise, and that's how he loses.
Dude, yeah.
Like he wants to
Good.
demask because he's so mad that he's like making fun of luchadors, and he goes to unmask him, and he just can't do it.
That's
Yeah.
And
good.
that's how he loses.
Like especially after like a 619, and like Grande Americano is just laying in the middle, they're like unconscious, and he's about to do it, and then like he's is fighting himself like he can't do it, and then that's whenever Michael Cole's gonna help with the storytelling for the online people at home. He's gonna be like, Ray can't do it. It's not the luchador way. He can't do it.
Don't do it right. Don't do it right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know what? I'm actually thinking they're gonna hint at it throughout the match. Like Ray's gonna want to do it, and they can go one of two ways, like you said, KB. Either he can't do it, and that's why he loses, or he just says, "I'm done with you, bro." Boom,
Yeah.
and we get to find out who this great luchador is.
I just think that because like it's such a fun gimmick and story that's being told, I would like to see it continue going.
I'm with you. Yeah,
So
I'm with you.
I don't want to see whoever it is get unmasked, and even if they do get unmasked, like let them keep the character and keep running with it if they have to.
100%. 100%. Okay, we got our first championship match to talk about. LA Knight, the United States champion, versus Jacob Fatu. Do we think this is the time that the Samoan Werewolf gets his title?
I will say yes, and I have an answer for later why though.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I say no.
Ooh.
LA
I think
Knight wins, and I think LA Knight needs the win too.
yeah.
But I think the win comes with Solo costing Jacob the match.
And I'm going to go right there with you because I don't think they're done with that story. They can't be
No,
done with that
yeah.
story. They haven't built it up to where those two are fighting yet. So that's got Solo's got to get involved in that match in order for him to lose the match in LA to win. Because if you're just going by strength, LA shouldn't win. But like LA's
right, because you've pushed Jacob to be this unstoppable werewolf, this guy, and so to have him eat his first pin loss at a WrestleMania of this magnitude might not be the best way to do it. So you have to throw in Solo in there. That's how he loses.
No,
So
that's
that's my
good.
prediction. I think LA Knight wins. LA Knight does need the win
Yeah.
but it comes on the heels of a Solo interference, and it could be one of two ways: either Solo actually costs Jacob the match, or Solo comes out to help but messes it up, and then Jacob just turns on him. The
Yeah.
crowd does give Jacob a big pop because now he turned on Solo, and so that's how
Yeah.
you can keep the belt on LA Knight and have Jacob now face turn.
Mm-hmm. What do you say? So Tim, you said you had something
I
up your
do, but
sleeve.
I have it's a very wide prediction that I think is going to take like a lot of stringing together from like whoever's in charge up top. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
That's
um,
all right. Triple H listens to this podcast.
what is that? What is Jacob Fatu's relationship to The Rock?
They're like all like Samoan cousins
I
and
was gonna
stuff like
say
that.
that they're like
So
all kind of like family, right? So,
He's actually related to the family.
so
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that like we're gonna see a lot of we're probably gonna see a lot of like the family winning stuff this weekend. That includes Jay. That includes Jacob Fatu. The one that I don't see winning, I believe, would be Roman Reigns.
Mm.
And I have like a prediction based off of the main event, and I think that even plays into it to where like they would almost build like a new faction out of
Mm.
this weekend, not just like, hey, we have the results from WrestleMania now, and like we're gonna go ahead and do our thing and tell a story based off this. Like I'm thinking like another faction is built out of this that's separate from like the tribal chief stuff with Roman Reigns, because I almost feel like um Roman Reigns isn't even going to be considered from The Rock as like part of the faction, because I think like because him disputing and fighting against who The Rock wants to be in certain places is going to maybe be in the way, and that's going to be why he's not picking Roman Reigns to be part of what's going on. And then
Okay.
I think there's going to be like this is almost too much. I'll wait on that, but
No,
I'll
you're
wait on
good,
that.
bro.
We'll get there in a
I
minute.
love that.
So
All right, let's keep this thing going because I know we got a lot of other things to talk about here. Here's one that I'm mad that's on the card. Okay, I'm mad about this
What?
one.
Really?
The World Tag Team Championships. Raiders versus the New Day. The
So
reason
you
why
think
I'm upset about it is
this one should
because
have been
it should have been the other
should have
tag
been the
team
opposite?
championships.
I agree with that.
I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the fact that the other ones are not on WrestleMania, and that's the better wrestling match than this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah,
If there
100%.
you were talking about short matches, this better be short. I don't want it to be I don't want it to take up too much time because there's really nothing to talk about. What are you going to do? You're going to give them the New Day another tag team championship? Like, is that what this is going to? I really think that's what's going to happen. Let's just cut it all out.
Yeah.
It's going to be the New Day's going to win. They're going to
You
establish their heel, and I just think that that's what's going to happen.
who has
so
the
you got
belts right
the
now? Didn't somebody win them the other day from them?
War Raiders have
The
them.
War Raiders
No,
have
The
it.
no.
Warriors. Okay. Um,
You're calling New Day wins.
I'm calling New Day win.
Okay.
how do they win?
I think they cheat,
All right.
but I don't know what they're going to do to cheat, but they're going to cheat somehow to win.
I'm with you that this shouldn't be on the card because I don't care enough
I
for
don't
this
care.
match.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
care
100%.
enough for this match. The
Yep.
story's not I'm more invested in the heel turn for the New Day than their pursuit of a tag team
Yeah.
title.
Yeah.
That's,
And the
so
heel stuff that they did, it started to die because they could not do promos because they can't do it's wild to say this. They can't take advantage of the heat that they have like Dominic Mysterio has. And it's wild because they're vets and they should be able to but I think that they weren't expecting to get booed out of the building like they were, and they can't
no.
handle it.
And I would
They have to do
say
all their promos in the back.
they did one promo today in the back, and Xavier Woods did a great job with it. The one
Bro.
that I can't believe as a heel is Kofi. And Xavier's doing great with the role that they're doing, and
Yeah.
I think just being heels is enough for the story
Yeah.
because they try to bring in Big E to give it some
Life.
what's the word, life and some like that's when they started getting booed really hard
Yeah.
because they started trashing on E and everything. Yeah, like you're saying, it gave it life. And after that, Big E's gone, so they're just playing on the regular heel thing where they're
Yep.
insulting the crowd, the local sport team or whatever. And so I don't care enough for this match. So
I will
Yeah.
I don't
say,
have a title change happen. I have the War Raiders winning just cause. But
Okay. Okay.
you might, again, either way, it doesn't matter.
What stinks about it Tim, before you say something, what stinks about this is this. There are so many good tag teams on SmackDown. Who else is a tag team on Raw other than the War Raiders and the New Day and like maybe the Judgment Day as a tag team? But it's like who else is there to
Yeah.
even there's nobody.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. That's
nobody.
what
And that is the reason why this should not be on WrestleMania because
agreed.
there was so much storytelling on the SmackDown WWE
Yes.
tag team time. You had the Motor City
Yeah.
Machine Guns, you got the
DIY.
champions, DIY is there, you got Pretty Deadly, I
Yep.
mean you have all of there was so much that they could have built off of and then this is what we get. We get the New Day.
Man.
It's like
But
what?
I guarantee you the Street Profits versus Motor City on SmackDown
It's gonna be a banger.
will outperform
Yep.
War Raiders and New Day.
Yep.
100% guarantee it.
100%.
man, I would say my favorite part of the backstage promo from tonight though was whenever what's her name that was reporting?
It was Jackie
Jackie.
She
Jackie
said
Redmond.
she said something and then she apologized. She said sorry. And then you look at I don't remember who it was face, but like he looks back and he goes like he's like mouthy. He's like, she say sorry? That was really funny to me. I was cracking up.
Well, we're talking about a match that we're not looking forward to. I'm gonna say it right now in this next one.
Unfortunately.
Well, no, you might be shocked about this one.
No,
I
I know
am
where you're going.
I actually am really excited about this next match. I am
Oh, are you?
intrigued. I'm bought in now. The Women's World Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. And it all changed for me with the shoot promo. And when all that went down, and then the real heat, and then you finally listen to this. I love Charlotte Flair as Charlotte Flair. She's always going to be woo the queen, that whole thing. But when she beat Tiffany Stratton up in the parking lot in
Oh, in the parking
street
lot. Yeah, yeah.
clothes, in street clothes, not in Flair fashion. She had jeans on and all this stuff. I was like, this has gotten real. And it finally feels like this is the match that we were hoping we were going to get. And so I'll go first. Tiffany needs the win. Tiffany needs the win. If she can have not only just a win, but an incredible match with somebody with the caliber of Charlotte Flair, she's going to be built not for only this title run, but for the next 10 years of her career. This is going to be a career-defining match for Tiffany Stratton. It can either break it or it can make it. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is a very important match for Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
100% agree.
I think that, you know, the guys in the back know that no one really wants to see Charlotte win it. Especially after just coming back and her cringe like stuff that she was saying, like you called her the queen a minute ago, but she self-titled herself Nepo Queen, and
She
I
did
don't
self-titled that. Yeah.
self-titled herself Nepo Queen, and so all while
I don't think the plan was go ahead, I'll let you finish.
I was gonna say all while claiming that what's his name is in her DMs, Kaiser is in her DMs,
Yeah, Ludwig.
Ludwig Kaiser is in her DMs, and
Crazy.
did you guys see what he tweeted out to her?
Yeah, he was what did he say?
It was
He pretty
don't
much said
flatter
no.
yourself.
Don't flatter yourself.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
you'll never find me in your DMs. Don't flatter yourself, type of thing. Yeah,
He might have like
what's your
hand clapped an emoji like of a story, and then she's like, "He's in my DMs." Like, nah, dude.
what's your prediction, Tim?
I got my prediction is Tiffany wins, and also Tiffany needs the win.
I think
Needs
it's
to win.
I think it's gonna be.
I don't think they expected Charlotte to be the heel in this match.
Yeah,
She got cheered when she came.
yeah.
The cheers started to lessen when the crowd realized, okay, she might win. the cheers did lessen even more when she did win. Then when she picked Tiffany, they started to boo her. And
Yeah.
so actually no, it was
Yeah, the
one of her
crowd's like,
first
"Don't
promos
mess with
back.
our Tiffy time, dude."
It was one of her first promos back. She was trying to cut it, and
They wouldn't let her have it.
they wouldn't let her
Mhm.
have it. They were like,
Yep.
"Boo!" And so I don't think they anticipated that. So there was a lot of pivoting, I believe, on the journey to it. And so Charlotte's had her back to the wall in this thing, and so she even said it. She was like, I've been doing things to throw Tiffany off her game because what was the promo where they were in two different places and they were talking to each other?
Yeah.
That one was
Charlotte.
also off. Yeah,
Charlotte
she
killed her on that.
essentially she killed her. Yeah, she
Yeah,
buried her,
she buried her. Yeah.
which is why I think Tiffany came off script on the face to face one
Yep.
with the 0 for 3, all
Yep.
that stuff, and went personal. And
Yep.
that's when the Ludwig comment came, and
Yep.
then the beating up in the parking lot, which I thought was really good. And so, but my
But
prediction
notice
is
but notice okay, so a couple things about that. She definitely pulled a John Cena versus The Rock promo with the whole
oh
like
Tiffany,
that's why when he did the
yeah,
shoot when he said that's why I don't put my promo on my wrists, she
yeah,
definitely threw her like Charlotte off. She threw Charlotte off. That's why Charlotte kept on doing those little baby jabs like Nepo
hmm,
Queen. Like she didn't know what to do because that was
yeah,
not the plan. There's no
no.
the way that because of how polished Charlotte is, she was off her game when that whole thing happened. When she
I don't know if
said,
this is true, but there was like someone put out the actual not
"I saw
script, but
that,"
like a bullet
as
point of what
what it
they
was supposed to
were
be.
supposed to say, which was really good.
Hmm.
What they were supposed to say. So if they stayed on, it would have still been a great promo for the match. This just
It's,
turned some people
it's
off, and dang, bro. But I'm with you. I think Tiffany wins.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
this might be the
Tiffany
dark
wins.
horse of the night. Like
yeah.
people are gonna say it won't deliver, but I think it is a
I
dark
think it.
horse,
I think it
and it
can.
might be it's a candidate for match of the night. I think.
Yeah.
That's
I
I'm right
yeah.
there too. I think that with like the athletic ability between the two of them too, like outside of
Right.
the promo and everything, I
Yep.
think I think Tiffany's gonna come away with it, but I think it's gonna be like one of those like super close, like back and forth, like pinfall type stuff, and then you're gonna hear the crowd, holy, holy, like you're gonna
Yeah.
hear it at some point because like
Yeah.
it's gonna turn heads. Everyone's gonna like, oh my god, like this match is
Yeah.
insane. So
Yeah, I think that you're going to see the most women moonsaults of all time in this match from the top rope because they both are going to do it, and yeah,
Yeah, you're right, and I think they know that they have to do it
they have to.
I
because
think there's
they've
gonna be a
seen the
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going in there, but
no.
I
I was
think
gonna
that
say was they,
I keep interrupting.
that's
I'm so sorry,
hilarious.
dude.
Go ahead,
I
go
was
ahead, go ahead.
my main thing I was just trying to tag to what I think you're about to say is I think they're gonna both be like attempting to do it. It's gonna get stopped by the other person back and forth, and finally whoever actually gets theirs off is gonna be who like wins. That's
Yeah,
just how I'm guessing it's gonna play out. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, all I was gonna say something like that. What I was gonna say was because of the hate. I don't want to say hate, but the negativity towards their rivalry, if you will, that the internet has had.
Yeah.
They know that they had to deliver a banger, and so I think they're gonna pull out all the stops, like top rope stuff. They might even do a bunch of stuff outside the ring, like just because they need to. They know they need to deliver a banger, which the two of them are capable of doing that. And so I think they're gonna pull the best out of each other, and it's a candidate for me, a dark horse candidate for match of the night. But they need to deliver. They
That
need to
outside
Yeah,
the
deliver.
ring stuff I think is like actually pretty huge. I didn't even think about that. That's a good call because I think with this being like a dark horse match, whoever wins this isn't gonna have to come back like on SmackDown the next Friday and really try to like get into another fight of any sort. I think so. I think allow
That's
them to
true.
risk getting hurt to where all they have to do is just come back and like do a promo and recap their thoughts, how they think it played out, maybe set something up for the future. But
Right.
let them like just again with how athletic they are, like almost like Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, dude, go out there and just start slamming each other off this stuff and make it entertaining. And I think they both have the ability to do it.
Yeah, I do.
yeah. I think it's going to be probably it might be match of the night. Next to of course, the main event. We got one more before that. We've got
Yeah.
a World Heavyweight Championship, which we've been talking about a little bit tonight already. Gunther versus Jey Uso. I think if we all said on the count of three, who do you think is going to win? We go 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure we're all going to say Jey.
Jay, yes.
Yeah. I just
Jey, if he does, this is okay. So just a heads up.
You're hitting something on your microphone. Just heads up.
I'm sorry. I know I just dropped something. I'm sorry, guys. Jey, this match is the typical WrestleMania. Abby knows about this. There's always that one match that's the feel good winner, and Jey is the feel good winner. We've had Daniel Bryan feel goods. We've had Kofi Kingston feel
Kofi
goods.
Kingston. Yeah.
This is like the Sami Zayn feel good.
Who else was, Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder feel good in
Yeah.
32. This is the feel good because, but the thing is as much as I know that Jay's going to win this match, man, this sucks for Gunther to have two title reigns end at WrestleMania against some pretty big baby faces. So to put over he puts over the talent, man.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say something that maybe a lot of people would agree with but won't say. He's also, this will be 2 WrestleManias back to back where he's lost to someone who's not, and this is no disrespect to a Sammy or a Jay, but he would lose to 2 people back to back who are not on his level.
Yeah.
They're not on Gunther's level. Like
Yeah.
in the ring,
like an elite group,
like
I would say.
like ring general is not just a moniker. Like that dude can ball in there.
Yeah.
And Jay has a super kick and a jump. And Sammy has a hell of a kick and some grappling. Like they weren't on his. Now, to Sammy's credit, he put on a banger with
Yeah, he
Gunther
did.
last year.
Yeah, he did.
A banger. But Sammy's that, grunt work. He can do it. I don't think Jay, based on the Saturday night's main event match 3 months ago, which was for the World Heavyweight title, which I'm just still shocked that they're running it back again for the biggest
Fourth
show of the
time.
year.
Fourth time.
Bro, crazy. And so
Crazy.
I don't think, Jay's not on his level, but I'm with you. The WWE machine, feel good. They're gonna put it on Jay. They're gonna put it on Jay.
And that whole place
Sucks
was
for Gunther.
yeeting all over the
Yeah,
place.
and it
I'm
sucks for
gonna-
Gunther. But Gunther's a team player, and I love that about him. A couple
He's
of
a huge
interviews that
team
he
player.
did. I love him. I love that about him.
He's a company man, That's why he's also
Yeah.
I think one of like the main like voices on the LFG show. You know what I mean?
He is. And when he goes in there, bro, I love his the way he talks to
Shout out
those
to the LFG
recruits.
show, man. I finally start catching up to it. It's actually pretty good, dude.
It's good.
Bubba Ray
Like,
Dudley's my guy, man. I love me some Bubba Ray.
Like, all the coaches have been great. All of them.
Yeah.
And like,
Undertaker, Mickey, Gunther, CM Punk doing the promo class, dope.
Yeah.
bro, back to
Speaking
what
of
you were
Bubba Ray,
saying- Sorry.
yeah.
I was gonna say back to what you're saying about how like the ring general isn't just like his like image. It's like he's actually like that guy. I think even like some like the vets that are on the LFG show, like they see it. It's like when Gunther walks in the room and he starts talking and everything, like even like they're listening. They're like, you got Undertaker over here saying like, yeah, dude, tell him. like there's a reason why Gunther is in the position he's in, and I think again, him being able to like put people over, his promo skills tonight from whenever he like sounded real angry and everything. I think that's huge for his character, and I think it again is just showing how he's a company man, and he's gonna be around for a long time still. I think
he said bathing in his brother's blood. I was like, whew, he's gonna murder him. Like that's what.
Also he said, as long as I've been here, 80% of my time here, I've been champion.
And that's an actual stat.
It is, because he was the UK champion for 4 years, whatever.
Ever.
Came up to the main roster, got the IC title for 2.5 years, 3 years maybe. And then 6 months later, or 3 months later, whatever it was, got the world heavyweight title. Like, that dude is him, bro. He's him.
He was King of the Ring too, right?
That's what he did. He won King of the Ring.
King of the Ring, and then he got the title.
Got the world title match at SummerSlam.
Sheesh.
And then he's had it since SummerSlam. And bro, Jay does win. I think the title reign is short. But that's prediction for something else. But
it better not be as short as his IC title, because that was really short.
That was short. But see, they never paid that off. Well, they kind of did with the Survivor Series match. Because it was Solo who they cost him the title and everything.
Yeah.
But Jey Uso wins. I believe Gunther needs it more, but it's the feel good moment of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm with
Yeah.
you.
All right, guys, we're finally at the main event for night one. This is the one that's going to be the hardest thing to pick, I think, out of night one and night two. You've
I
got
agree.
Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman in whose corner? CM Punk's, but is
CM
it going to
Punk's
be?
corner, bro.
Is he going to
Is
end
it?
up there at the end of the match? That's the question. Who's
I
going to eat this pin, y'all?
That's the main event question for the main event.
I've
So
got
let's start somewhere. Let's start somewhere. Who do you think needs the win more? These are three main event caliber stars. Now, keep in mind, last WrestleMania, Seth Rollins lost twice.
Yep.
He didn't eat the pin night one, but he definitely got pinned night two. So he lost 2 nights. It doesn't matter if Seth loses, it doesn't like damage his aura, if you will. Seth Rollins is Seth freaking Rollins.
yeah.
Uh, I just don't think Seth takes the pin
Yeah.
because of WrestleMania last year. So that leaves two people who are massive stars.
Yeah.
Also, Roman took a pin last year. So
Here's the thing. I know, like, feel good. I think a lot of people are expecting CM Punk to win because it's his first main event of WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to win it.
Nope.
Roman Reigns, I think, could win it because he's Roman Reigns. He's got the, the championship resume, behind him. He's been that guy. He's on a Mount Rushmore of WWE, Um, I think they're panning us to the dispute between CM Punk and Roman Reigns too much to where I think they're almost putting like Seth Rollins on the back burner of us, like possibly thinking that's who's going to win. So I think Seth Rollins is going to win. Now, this is where like my crazy prediction all comes together. Okay,
Here we go.
I think Seth Rollins. Okay, I think Seth Rollins is part of like The Rock's crew secretly, and we don't know it yet. And he's gonna become part of like this massive heel faction that The Rock is like putting together. And so, okay, so I think Jacob Fatu is gonna win because he's a family guy, a part of the family. I think Jey Uso is gonna win, part of the family. I don't know if you guys have seen that theory that's been floating around about how Jey Uso might turn heel because The Rock is 20 steps ahead. Before the Royal Rumble, he had the walkout with Travis Scott, and then Travis Scott was in the ring with John Cena and The Rock for. So I think even like that is playing into it somehow. I think Jay is like going to become a champion, and then The Rock's going to put all these stars up on top, and then everyone else is going to have to climb back up together. So I think you're going to see something crazy like champions versus champions of old. So you're going to see like Roman and Cody team up to try to take down what's going on. So like it's gonna
Oh
go
my!
crazy. I
This
think
is wild.
this is very wild. But I've been like thinking in my head like, what's the
I
craziest
love
possibility
wild
that can come
theories.
out of this? You know what I mean? But
Sign
Wow.
me up.
let's go
Wow.
back to
So
just Seth
you got
Rollins
Seth
real quick.
winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
go
right.
back to just Seth Rollins for a moment. He said in his promo tonight he was talking about how this is pretty much the Paul Heyman championship match, right? They all want the they all want the Paul Heyman, you know? Like he's my best friend. No, he's my
He's my
wise
wise
man,
man.
this, that,
Yeah.
and the other. And Seth Rollins in his promo, whenever he was talking about him, he was saying, what did he say? He said, oh, like I did him a favor. Favors are favors, whatever it is, like favors are choices. And he goes, and I made the choice not to put him in a hospital last week. And he can choose to return that favor whether he wants to or not. So Paul Heyman, once he's in the corner on Saturday night, technically the debt's been paid to CM Punk. The favor's been cashed in. He doesn't owe him anything else after that once he's in that corner. What if he sides with Rollins that
Come
night?
on.
He sides
Come
with
on.
Rollins that
theory,
night
yeah.
so he
Come
can
on.
pay back the debt of him not being put in the hospital by Seth Rollins. And then
Come on.
those two start feuding over, and then it becomes a whole thing where like Rollins wins, and then Rollins is also secretly like a heel with The Rock. That's just crazy theory coming from my brain.
All right, you just started off my little thing right there perfectly. So, Seth Rollins, I believe, is going to win this match.
Okay.
And the reason why I believe that is because of what you just said. I don't know about this whole Rock thing, but I do think that if there's anybody who needs, so here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say. Seth Rollins, I think, is going to win, and I think he needs to win. Both of them. The reason why I say that is because his character needs a change. His character, he's got his little singing of the song, but that's basically it. Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. CM Punk is CM Punk. I think that Seth Rollins, listen to this. Roman's not going to take the pin. CM Punk is going to take the pin. And the reason why is because if you look at the CM Punk Seth Rollins thing, so think about the two things that's going to happen. If oh my gosh, I did it again. I hate this. This is so dumb. I'm being so serious and then that happens again. All right. Seth Rollins, this is so stupid. Seth Rollins is going to walk away with Paul Heyman. And I think that that's what's he's going to be a Paul Heyman guy. And I just think that because Seth Rollins is going to pin CM Punk because Seth Rollins still hasn't actually technically really beaten CM Punk in the if can I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that CM Punk beat Seth Rollins on the Raw on Netflix, correct?
Yes.
And then when it came to the cage match, yes,
Madison
Seth
Square Garden
Rollins
match.
won,
Seth Rollins
but
won,
he
but he
didn't
was
win on his own
pulled by
power. He was
Yep.
pulled out by Roman. The way you get this Seth Rollins CM Punk thing to actually be done is you get Seth Rollins to get the pin on CM Punk. CM Punk has already won in his mind. Why? Because he got to the main event of WrestleMania. That was always his ultimate goal. He never said, I need to be in a championship match. He never said, I need to win. He just basically said, I want to be in the main event of WrestleMania with
And
Paul Heyman on my side, like in my corner.
How
But the
crazy do you
thing
think a
is,
promo would be following? I'm interrupting you for like 2 seconds. How crazy do you
okay,
think
go
the
for
promo
it.
following would be with CM Punk coming back and whoever he yells at, whoever's fault is between Roman and Seth, and Punk just goes in on like my very first main event and I get pinned. Like how crazy like that promo is going to be from CM Punk whenever he comes back. Like, cause you saw how pissed he was a couple weeks ago. Whenever he was like getting up on stage and like he's calling out everybody. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wasn't that after the chamber? Yeah, after the
I was gonna
chamber.
say, I think
Yeah.
that was after the chamber. Yeah,
It was
it'll be
after the
something like
chamber
that.
when he got screwed out. Yeah.
He hit three people. He hit Rollins, he hit Rock, and he hit Cena all on the same time.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like we're gonna see, because I think a mad CM Punk on the mic, bro, people love that. So I think if you give more reason for that to happen, like that's gonna help out with long term story. But I don't want to interrupt too much more. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No,
I've said what I had to
I
say.
agree. I agree 100% with you, KB. Seth needs to win, and my pick is Seth Rollins, and CM Punk is the one that's going to take the pin.
Which is wild to say.
Yeah, CM Punk's going to take the pin
Wild.
because in my mind, CM Punk and Roman, all three of them really will not lose anything by losing, like taking a pin. But you want to keep people strong. I get that. So it's like who takes the pin, who is the one that wins. Yeah. So for story purposes, it makes more sense for CM Punk to take the pin over from Seth Rollins. Now you could say there could be an argument for Roman winning and finally beating Seth Rollins, because I don't think Roman has beaten Seth.
That's true. Batman versus Joker.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble we went to was Roman versus
DQ.
Seth, but it was a DQ win. Where Seth won, but DQ. So he's never beaten Seth
He's
Rollins.
never beaten Seth. So there's so much that
there's a wild theory with that Roman wins, but he pins Seth Rollins. The only reason I don't go with that is because that means Seth Rollins has lost.
Where does he go? Where does he go from there?
3 WrestleMania matches in 2 years.
And if there's one person that can be okay with losing, which he doesn't even have to eat the pin, is Roman, because he could walk away. He could walk away. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be around. He could walk away.
I've
Now
got
So
I
something.
don't know the theory from Tim about the Paul Heyman thing and stuff. That's just sprinkles on top of the ice cream. Okay, that's
I got
great
another
stuff.
thing to add to
But
it.
I think Seth needs to win, and my pick is Seth Rollins.
go ahead, Tim.
So I think yes, CM Punk takes the pin. I think Rollins is one to pin him. And here's my addition. I think there's going to be some buildup to where Roman allows it to happen. Like he doesn't even try to stop him. Here's why. Because he's mad about CM Punk calling in this favor. And so I think he wants CM Punk's night to be ruined for his first WrestleMania main event. So I think that's also how it's going to be. I think he's going to like be in a position where like he could, but he's not going to put in like massive effort to stop like CM Punk from getting pinned. Maybe
Yeah, but
like
he hates Seth though, man.
I know, but here's the
Does.
thing. Maybe like he spears CM Punk or something, and then or like does like the what's it called, the Superman
Superman
punch.
punch.
Yeah, something like this happens, and then like it's stuck there between uh Seth and Roman fight a little bit, and maybe like there's like some. But I think again with I don't know how much this match actually means to Roman Reigns in that regard because he's not going to have his wise man in the corner with him too.
Yeah,
So I think he's going to be playing a different game come when the bell rings. So I
yeah,
think you see him like at some point purposely let Rollins pin Punk because he's mad about obviously a couple things, but I think he knows he can take care of business more down the road still. And I think
mm,
ruining CM Punk's main event after CM Punk took Paul Heyman from him, I think is going to be the more relevant feud
yeah,
in Roman's mind. So that's why I'm
yeah.
going that.
That's good. That's good. All right, guys. Well, that was night one. Before we get into night two, just want to say that if you guys need a good snack, you could get some, what JR used to say, juicy, delicious, delicious. Oh, yeah, they're juicy Skittles. Go ahead and get yourself some Skittles real quick. That's what I want right now. I need some
You
Skittles
want
right
some
now. So,
Skittles? I was like, where's he going with this?
juicy, delicious, delicious. Oh, they're so juicy Skittles. I'm sorry. That he
It's
did that on Raw like
it's our sponsor for
2012.
today's
Like,
video.
crazy.
Didn't
That and
didn't
Saratoga.
JBL tweet out something the
It's
other
water,
day that
y'all. It's
had
water, y'all.
oh my
What'd you
god.
say?
Didn't JBL tweet something out the other day? I think
JBL?
yeah.
Probably.
It
I don't
was
know.
something that had to do. I think I showed it to you.
Oh gosh, JBL, man.
I
I
don't know
love
you
me some
guys can
JBL.
you can move on. I just thought like it was like some
All right.
hilarious thing that popped up.
Okay, here we go. Here is let's go to night two. So we are on night two now. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Uh Logan, I think is gonna win.
Oh, you got Logan winning? I
I think
got
I got
AJ
Logan winning.
winning.
Okay, all right.
I got AJ just because I feel like Logan is like I don't know if he needs to win for any reason. You know, obviously he's like the entertaining guy. He's the heel, but um, I think for the overall night, you can't be having every loved character be winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
You can't have all the faces winning. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
do
How many did
agree
we
that
have winning? Naomi. I had Naomi winning, which is she's a
She's a
heel.
heel.
Oh,
Jacob
Grande's
Hunt's
the heel.
we got New Day. I have New
Hakud.
Day as a heel.
Yep.
So
so maybe AJ
yeah,
could win it
maybe.
just because Logan. He's also a company man. I would say.
Yeah, it's hard to see. We have to understand Logan Paul is now an official like WWE superstar.
Yep.
He's not that celebrity
He's
cameo
not a
wrestler
celebrity anymore. He's actually on
that
the
he's
roster
just
for real.
he's on the roster, so he needs wins,
Yeah.
But AJ just came back from the injury. He's came back at the Rumble. Like, I think he has an trajectory. Like, you got to build AJ back up to the main event scene, and it starts with a win here because you want to build him up to get him to face the undisputed WWE champion, which
I
we
would
will
s-
talk about.
I would
Who's gonna
say
win
I think
that?
if AJ loses, it's because maybe carrying what?
I said that's good what he just said.
Oh, yeah. I would say I think maybe carrying Cross hands Logan like brass knuckles or something to beat AJ. Something ridiculous.
Carrying Cross.
I'm calling something goofy like that happens if Logan wins.
Yeah.
Right.
We can move on. I mean, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, who's ready to talk about this one? Sin City Street Fight. We got Damian
Whatever that
Priest
is.
versus Drew
Yo, the classic Sin City
McIntyre.
street fight man from days of old.
I just,
If one of them hits each other with a deck of cards, I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
Bro, the poker
golly.
chips, dude. Hit him with
Poker
the
chips,
machine
bro?
handle, dude.
Yeah, why not? You know what? If this is going to be a Sin City street fight, why not let them fight in the Bellagio in the freaking casino, man? Like, how
Yo, that'd be
crazy would that
hilarious.
be?
They could use Dana
That would
White's
be
gambling room, dude.
nuts.
They throw poker chips at each other. That's crazy.
Could you imagine the street fight being done in the UFC Performance Center
It's
in Las Vegas?
put
Wait,
it to a table, a blackjack table.
say this again. Who's this match?
It's Damian
Drew-
Priest versus Drew McIntyre. These two are like wanting to kill each other.
Yeah, I mean, this will probably be like one of those like holy shoot moments throughout the night too. I think just because like how
Yeah.
crazy it'll be.
Yeah.
So technically, they had a match last year at WrestleMania. Technically, because Drew
That's where it all started.
Drew beat Seth for the title, and then Damian cashed in on Drew. They had a
Yo,
5-minute
I
match.
forgot about that.
And so this, my pick is Drew wins, and I think
Yes.
Drew needs the win.
Yes. I'm with you 100%.
This is a silly question. The Money in the Bank's not live for anyone, right? That's not still out there.
No,
No,
it's
no,
just
so-
gone.
I was gonna say.
Which actually, this is why I think Drew needs to win, because last year Drew won the title and then lost it in 5 minutes. Then won Money in the Bank, cashed it in on the same night, and lost
To who?
to Damian Priest.
There we go.
That's a lot of story, dude. So I think
There we go.
that's good. I think Money in the Bank.
But Damian Priest is the heel, so this is one of those like you can't have the good guys win all the time.
Damian Priest is
So-
the heel?
Sorry.
Oh,
Drew McIntyre is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
heel.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah, Drew's gonna win this match.
Dude,
He
I don't
has
know
to.
if
I
there's
wish.
no face at all between those two guys.
I wish
I
that
agree.
I wish that he would have kept the eye patch though for a little bit longer. He took it off way too early. I wanted him to be. I wanted him to keep the eye
Oh,
patch.
man, that doctor of Chad Gables could say, "Hey, man, no, you need to put it back on."
Yeah, I know.
Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go to the next fight, which would be Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. This match, I did not have on my bingo card at the beginning of the year, and
Not at
here we
all.
are with it, and I am way okay with this. Who do you think's going to win this match?
I'm
So
gonna surprise.
this is my dark horse for match of the night. Honestly, on this day.
Okay, Tim, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Penta.
Okay.
I'm not super like wowed by Penta just yet because I feel like he's almost been like rushed into the spotlight and everyone loves him like almost too quickly. Even like the match tonight, whenever he I don't know if you guys saw me, I was like botch because it wasn't like a crazy botch, but this is whenever he like his leg slipped off of the head of who was that Breaker? Is that who did that too?
Right? Was it during the aftermath of the match?
It was
Because he was fighting. He was fighting
it was
Finn
during
Balor.
the match. Then it was during the match. Then no, I don't think it was Finn Balor. He did too. Either way, he did something where he like,
I
did, like,
remember
the
it
whole
was in the
leg thing.
aftermath. It was in the aftermath of the match. It was with Braun Breaker. You're
I was
right.
gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah. So it was Braun Breaker, and so then like his leg slipped off. Then Braun had to like sell that it actually happened. And then he fell out the ring,
Mhm.
and that's whenever he jumped out or whatever. But so there's still some moments like that of like immaturity, I think, from Penta, where like, or maybe not immaturity,
Right.
but just like a lack of like,
Both his feet touched at the Royal Rumble.
yo, dude,
Ooh,
he's got
They
the
had to
bad
cut the
feet.
camera real quick.
they've had a
You know-
he's
You
had
know
a
they
couple
usually
botches.
when they had close when you on the Royal Rumble when you have like close calls like that, they'll replay it over and over to show you like
they didn't
replay that. 'cause-
replay that sucker because
No,
they
my
knew
guy
that his
touched
feet
both.
touched.
Yeah, I do think
And
like
so-
I think just because of like what's been happening, where what's it called, like Dom, Finn, like pretty much Breaker goes out there and Breaker wants to break like the Judgment Day guys apart. Like Penta's always like his like last like thought. Like he looks at Penta as like, yeah, this guy wants my belt, but like he's like Penta's like the honorable guy because you know the whole thing that happened a couple weeks ago, whatever, like Penta decided not to hit him with the chair or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Oh, it was
things
to
like that.
join Judgment Day, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Penta was like, no, I'm gonna do this the honorable way and like, not attack Breaker. So I think it's either Breaker retains or Penta wins it. I don't think anyone else gets
Yeah.
it though.
Yeah, I think that Dominic and Finn are going to cancel each other out to where those two are not going to win. I think that that will build up to a story itself for the demise or the breakup of the Judgment Day, to the point where, honestly, if we're going to talk about like crazy long storytelling, I can see Finn Balor being the one that's going to get out of the Judgment Day, and Dominic, which is wild to say, this is going to be the leader of the Judgment Day. I think that he's eventually going to be that guy, and he's going to get his new person inside the Judgment Day. Don't know who it will be, but I think that that's
Bro, he's
Well,
gonna
what
pull in.
about I'm gonna pull a
Yeah,
Tim
Abby,
right
you
now
got
and
it. Yeah,
go.
go.
I'm gonna pull a Tim and come up with a crazy theory. What if the new person comes and interferes in the match, and that's how Dom wins by pinning Balor?
Bro, what if the person that does it is Grande Americano?
Guy
No.
with Grande. He's the biggest
I don't know. This
Grande
is a
fan
toss
ever.
up for me. This is a toss up for me. The only thing I can know for sure is that Penta doesn't win.
Okay.
I don't think Penta wins.
Okay.
I think they have to pay off the Judgment Day story because it's gotten stale over the last couple of months. So you have to reignite that. So I think one of them wins, Balor or Mysterio.
Okay.
And it's either they pin one or the other after a Braun Breaker spear that tears that person in half. Something happens. But if I'm doing a pick, yeah, this is a crazy toss up. But I'm gonna say Dominic Mysterio wins. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna say
That
Dominic
would.
Mysterio
Dominic
wins.
Mysterio.
I think Braun Breaker needs the win, but if we're going who needs the win, Braun Breaker needs to retain. But I'm picking Dominic Mysterio. I'm picking Dominic Mysterio.
I like that pick. Now, the reason why I like the pick, what you're talking about is like the Judgment Day stuff going on. I think him being a champion would like attract other people to want to be in the Judgment Day. And especially if Finn leaves, they're going to need some people. I think that's a
Yeah.
good pick. So
That's one way to reignite the Judgment Day story. And so one of them wins. I
Mm.
don't know who, but one of them wins.
Let me put it.
I think Mysterio should win. If you're like which one of them should win between him, because Balor already had the IC title. Balor's too good to be in mid card range. I think he needs to be out of Judgment Day and pushed again
Yeah.
I
and
think,
go back to his original theme because these
yeah.
new themes suck.
Yeah, no, I've been
Do we-
watching like some videos of him, like when his whole like, you know, what I
Yo,
mean?
when
Like,
he was that
It
Finn
was
Balor,
gold, bro.
yo, he had everybody in the palm of his hand. I was just telling Tim, you don't understand how good Finn Balor was. He was so pushed that the minute that he went for, I mean, they in like this little bit of time, when they brought him from NXT to the main roster, they said
He
put the
pinned Roman
brand new
Reigns.
title. Yeah, they pinned
He pinned
Roman.
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
And then they put the title on him like in a couple months time. They just said brand new title, give it to Finn. The only reason why he lost is because he got hurt. He would have went. The whole like just map, the whole puzzle of WWE would have
Actually,
been.
what was it? He in that stretch, he beat Roman
Yep.
and Seth
Yep.
because that's who he fought at SummerSlam.
That's who he
was
fought at
Seth Rollins,
SummerSlam for the title.
and he beat Seth Rollins.
Crazy.
So he's really good. So I want to see him, back as a face and going back up to the top.
I will say
he's-
this:
He's
it
that
would
good.
be interesting to see Finn Balor win, and only for this reason. Abby, you might know more than I do. Where is Sheamus okay right now, or is he just doesn't have doesn't? Okay,
Oh no, that's crazy.
So-
that he's good. At
he's
least
good,
as
and it's the
long as
one
I hear
title. It's the one title he hasn't won.
that he hasn't won.
And
Yeah.
I just think that because it's in Europe, that it would be cool to see two Europeans go for the IC title, and that's how he finally gets it. It'd be Finn Balor versus
What's the Europe
Sheamus.
card? What
It's
Paris
Clash
one?
at the Castle in Paris,
in Paris? Clash in Paris.
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
like in a couple months, but
Right.
they always try to put like people
They
that are
do.
like the
Yeah.
Europeans over.
That's the
Mhm.
And
build-up time now.
so
You know,
so
time
They
they
to
got
got
some
some
time to
build up
build that.
for it. They could do that.
You might
So
be able to save him for the Raws after the Raw after
yeah.
WrestleMania or SmackDown after WrestleMania.
I'm sorry that Drew McIntyre thing was shameless when he said burger after burger. I that was so good. That was when
Burger
Drew
after
started being in his
burger.
bag.
Drew was great, bro. I loved him.
Crazy. All right, let's talk about this next one. We got women's tag team championship. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
So you know how they do that. I don't know if Triple H he tries to throw people off their game, but if you remember, kind of back in the day, Vince running. Sorry, we don't say his name. Under the old under the
Vince
old
Staples.
regime.
Yep.
Yeah, under the old regime, whoever before a pay-per-view or PLE, whoever's standing tall on the go home show,
Usually loses.
you usually loses.
Yep.
And so I've made note to see all of that.
Yep.
Now, if we going back to the triple threat match, Seth Rollins was the one that was standing tall at the close of the show. And
Yep.
we all picked him to win. So based on that theory, he might not win. But that's neither here nor there. I only
Yep.
say that because of this match. Liv Morgan lost today to
Yep.
Bailey.
She
So
won't lose again.
I looked over at Michelle. I was like, okay, so Liv and Raquel are gonna win on
Yeah.
Sunday. So my pick is Liv and Raquel because I think they need to win.
Yep.
And I think that's gonna cause the rift between Bailey and Lyra even
And
more
there's yep.
and then you have Bailey go heel again
Yep.
to go after the IC title.
I don't even have to talk. I don't even have to
That's
talk.
my thing.
It's the same thing. I don't even have to talk. That's it.
And that's for the tag teams, right?
Yeah, it's
It's
for
for
the
the
tag team
women's
championship.
tag team, yeah.
So then Judgment Day still has 2 belts. Dom might have
Yep.
the IC title too.
IC.
So then
And look who doesn't have a belt.
Judgment Day will be
Dang, yeah.
looking kind of attractive to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Right.
Yep. Abby, you took every single word out of my mouth. I really
My
think
bad.
that Bailey needs to go. No. You don't have to say my bad because I love it because we're on the same wavelength. I just think that Bailey needs to be a heel again.
Yeah.
Whatever she's doing, this tweener thing that she's doing, it's not working. It's not working
Well,
for
you saw
anybody.
there was a little bit of a tease on
The little bit
SmackDown
of a
last week
tease when
where
she
she got mad that
lost.
she lost,
And then she was like, nah, cool. I'm going to shake your hand. We could be partners. Something's going to happen between those two that's going to cost them the match. And then
it might not be
that,
at Mania, but we might get a turn either at Mania
yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
or Raw. No, because they're on SmackDown. So
I think that
they're
this
on
is
Raw.
going to,
Yeah.
I'm going to, this is going to
Lyra's
be,
on Raw.
let me talk about who I think is going to take the pin. I think that Lyra is going to take the pin. The reason why I think Lyra needs to take the pin is because Bailey has to be mad at something for not winning. So I think Lyra has to be the one that's going to like cost the whatever is going to happen. And that's how Bailey is going to start this thing with Lyra to finally have something of a story for Lyra to have for this championship. She's been going into random matches, good matches, but just there's no story between anything.
No story.
The funny thing is the story build up to get to the IC title for Dakota Kai versus what's that person's
That's
yeah, I did it again. I'm done with this Mac. For the Dakota Kai versus help me out from
Lyra?
American Made. American Made.
Oh, Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile. That was more of a story
I agree.
than it was with Lyra. Lyra was not part of any story. It was Dakota and Ivy Nile facing each other to try to figure out who's going to go against Lyra, and they all just lose, like with roll-ups and very technical ways of losing. Like it's not
I don't
even
know why they didn't put it on Dakota because she's
that we could talk about that another day. Dakota, I hate that she doesn't have a title yet. So,
but you're right. Yeah, Lyra does take the pin. Lyra takes the pin.
I think so.
I think here's why she's going to take the pin. I think it's going to be Baylor's going to be pressured by the ref to not be able to interject in a certain way. I think Lyra's going to be in this whole like I have to prove myself that I mean, and maybe it's pride, maybe it's proving yourself, but she's the champion right now, the IC champion, right? So, so she's going to refuse to tag Bailey. That's a reason why Bailey gets. That's the reason why Bailey gets mad.
Yep.
And then they lose because of Lyra taking the pin, getting beat up or whatever, and then maybe Raquel keeps Bailey from interjecting. There's
Bailey
some way that
yeah,
so then
yeah.
like the story's gonna be like, you didn't have to do that, like I could have helped you, like it was a team effort, like do you not know how to, like there's gonna be some sort of build I think from that. I think that's my
That's good.
guess. So
That's good. That's good.
Next up, we've got another women's match. We have the triple threat for the Women's World Championship: Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus the champion Io Sky. This one has a potential. Of course, there's a massive match after that to talk about,
That's true.
but
Yeah.
this could be a potential. Think about this. Am I right about this of saying that the two women's matches could be the dark horses of each night to be the match of the night? That's
Well,
crazy.
no, I would say so. The Tiffany Charlotte is a dark horse match of the night for me on
You think this is
Saturday.
just just
This is gonna be a match to the night candidate. Like
yeah,
just jumping off the paper and seeing the work that the three of them are doing.
incredible work.
Yeah, and so
I
I
know
think
Io
this one is
Sky's
gonna
music
be,
is gonna make me out of my seat dancing though, you know what I'm saying? Like
She's
bro.
got
That
she's got she's got
her
she's
song
got
is
the
a banger,
oh,
bro.
I don't know why.
oh my gosh.
Her song reminds me of that like goofy teeth spider thing from Star Wars Episode 2. You know, like whenever they're like strapped in the desert, and it has like that little scream that's like that. Like I feel like part of the beat of that could be mixed in with like that monster doing like its scream. It just sounds like.
Tim, I need that by the end of the week. I, I need that by the end of the week. I know you
I
can
don't know
make
why
that happen.
I hear. I'm just gonna do an edit. I'm just gonna make it look a little real. It's gonna be funny.
So my pick is Io Sky.
Okay.
Io Sky wins. And here's why. I think, and we've been getting this throughout the whole promo of the inner workings of all three of them. Rhea and Bianca forget about Io, as they've been doing in every promo, pushing her to the side, pushing her to the side, and Io's just gonna come out, genius of the sky, come up flying. I just don't know who gets the pin. My bet is on Bianca.
Hmm.
Bianca gets pinned.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm I
so,
think
yeah,
that
I do
because
think Io needs the win too.
I here's my guess. This is gonna be a little bit like I'm trying to think like company wide reason why I'm saying this. Um, I don't think Bianca's gonna win because of the feud that's gonna come probably between Naomi and Jade also, and like or what follows that. I think like she's gonna be too busy with that story to also be holding a championship belt. That's why I don't think Bianca's gonna win. Um,
I
I
was
think
shocked that she won the Elimination Chamber because of the Jade Naomi story.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was shocked that they had her win, and I was like, "Oh, so she's just gonna forget about Jade and Bianca?" And I
yeah,
mean Jade and Naomi, but she mentioned it in her promo today. She was like, "I was off my game because of this thing, my two best friends," and I'm like, "You guys keep hinting at it, but she's not involved
Yeah.
yeah.
anymore."
So I
It's funny
think
how many. Yeah.
But
It's
I
funny
think
how.
that the reason why
Sorry.
she's I'm just gonna finish my thought real quick. I'm sorry. I think the
No, you're
reason
good.
why Bianca's not gonna win is I think Rhea will win, but she won't do it beating Io, and that'll still be over her. Like she will have to still defend against Io, maybe even lose. And like, let's say, what's the event following? Is it Backlash?
Backlash.
Backlash
Backlash. Maybe
in
she
St.
goes.
Louis.
Oh yeah, guess where I'm going, dude.
Uh,
But anyways, I think Rhea will win it by pinning Bianca, and Io will somehow not be there again. I think like what you're saying, like they've almost been like you were mentioning how they've been like pushing off to the side, things like that. I think that's almost been like too eluding to the fact that like they're just ignoring Io Sky, and she's like this wicked talented wrestler. I think we're not gonna see that as much once the match starts. I think
hmm.
it's
Right.
I do think that we will see Rhea and Bianca be mad at each other and go after each other for a little bit. But I think
Yeah.
once like everyone starts going all out, I think it's gonna be like free for all. They're all gonna be evenly attacking each other. But again, the reason why I think Bianca gets pinned by Rhea is because Rhea will not have won by beating Io, so that story will still be alive. To where afterwards, Bianca will, you know, they can still play with the Bianca thing with Rhea too. But Bianca can focus on the Jade and Naomi story, and then Rhea will have to maybe go back at Backlash and fight Io to hopefully prove herself winning against Io, and then maybe Io beats her again and then gets the belt back. So that's just like my long-term guess. So
Okay.
I think that there were reports about Kari Sane coming back or being cleared.
Ooh.
Asuka still somewhere that needs to be cleared. So to your point of long-term story, can you imagine Io winning on Sunday and then coming out on Raw, and Raw after WrestleMania is usually some returns, some big things, or even some people coming up from NXT. I don't know who's on the come up right now. Maybe Julia comes up to the main roster. I don't know. She is fighting Stephanie. That's NXT stuff. We're
That's
not
gonna
gonna
be
get into
great.
that.
But yeah.
Really good, yeah. But Io celebrating, and then Kari Sane comes out and like attacks her, even though they used to
Or
be damage
Asuka.
control. Or Asuka, they were all damage control at one. There's some possibilities of storytelling there too. I like the Rhea story that you mentioned, because there's still some overlap that could happen with Io, because Io did beat Rhea, and so if Rhea beats Bianca, she didn't beat Io. Io could still hold that over her head. So
There's also
they
there's
could
also
they could do a
yeah.
lot of stuff with it.
There's also
Yeah.
with EO, there's so much more storytelling. I mean, you have like your best friend still Dakota that's in there. We're talking about her not getting a title. She could get a title shot against the world champion, in that way. So there's like so many opportunities with an EO as a champion, which doesn't really damage Rhea's like look at all if she doesn't
No.
win. She doesn't really need the title on her to be able to be what she is to like so many people. And then again, you're absolutely right. Bianca just keeps on hinting at this whole. I mean, she said like, if I can win the elimination chamber with all my friends getting like the way it's going on, then I can, like she keeps on hinting at basically saying like I might not be done with these two. Like there
Right.
still could be a story to tell. So yeah.
Could let's say, because Jade and Naomi's night one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's say Jade wins, or whoever wins, even if Naomi wins, could they come and
There could be,
interrupt and mess
right,
with? Because
Yeah.
like
with
Naomi,
Bianca's match.
Naomi could be like, if Naomi like blames Bianca for not helping her, like being there for her or something like that, even though she was locked in the chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. But there could be maybe like something like that where like it's just like another person
There could
interrupts.
be. Yeah.
I almost feel like
There
I
could
wouldn't
be.
like that though. Not gonna lie. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the whole
Because
reason
this
why
is
we're
such a
here
good
is
match
because
without
of
it.
the whole reason like why we're
Well,
here is
there,
because of something like that too. So
right. It wouldn't be DQ'd anyway because it's a triple
It's a
threat.
triple
So,
threat, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, anybody can. That's the beauty
but
about these triple threats.
I'm with you on that. I wouldn't want someone to interfere because the match is going
Itself
to
is
be tremendous
it's going to be
yeah.
good.
regardless. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys, we've made it. This is it. This is the fight
Last.
that we've all been wanting to talk about,
Grande
and we've
Americano
had
versus Rey Mysterio.
pretty close second, I would say, to that match would be I don't know, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE
Hey,
Championship.
the American Nightmare, I'll take it. It's close enough to Grande Americano.
It's close enough. Yeah.
It's close enough. So, all right, guys, this is it. I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say about this one.
Let me ask you this before we do picks. Who do you think won the promo battle that third week when they were in the ring together?
Mm.
Because the internet is pretty split.
I'm pretty
Internet's
split
pretty
too, but
split.
I want to say John.
I say John.
I say
John
John.
won.
Cody held his
John won it.
own.
Yeah.
Cody held his own.
No, people kept hinting at, John. If they're in the ring together, John's gonna like destroy him, and people were
He
like
didn't destroy
saying,
him. No.
I'm saying he destroyed him, but I'm with you. Cody did do better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Dude,
He said
Cody's not bad on the mic. Don't get me wrong.
No,
He's not bad
no.
on the mic. He's good. But when you're in the ring with someone like John, who's great, I mean, Rock knows, and Rock is great on the mic, and John still destroyed him in that one moment.
We all
with
know what he
the
did to Roman.
Oh, yeah. It's called the promo, buddy. You gotta learn that.
Dude.
I cannot believe he did that.
I blame you because I could do this way better part
Better
time.
part-time than you could ever do full-time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
even
John,
though
to me, John won that battle. John won the
Yeah.
battle.
even though I think John won the battle, I think Cody had the best line.
Which one?
Which one?
Whenever he says, "John, you're a hero of mine. this, that, and the other.
But you're also
a
full
piece
of
shit.
yeah, you pulled to a
He
piece of
called him
yeah.
I was like, because John started laughing, dude. Like it was delivered so funny, and then like everyone in the crowd was going nuts, and he just was like,
It was funny
like
because he almost he almost cracked
he
when he
was
did that.
cracking. That's why I think it
He
was
was
the best
cracking.
line. Was because it was just funny.
He tried to get him to crack. I thought that
So
line was pretty
I
legit.
hate's probably the strong one. I don't like when in promo battles when the person resorts to cursing or saying the cheap shots like you ever the ones that was like at least I'm not a bit like the B word like
Yeah.
just for the pop's sake of it like
Yeah.
it feels like you had nothing else to say. That's why I think John won that one because John's lines were phenomenal. I
Yeah.
make empires for billionaires, you just
You
steal
just
their
take
kids' money.
kids' money. Wow.
Dude.
Shout out to Tony Khan on that one.
But hey, the reference
Sheesh.
Cody made whenever he's like the guy that used to make the decision for you doesn't even work here anymore or whatever the heck that was.
Okay, see,
That was his
that
best
one was
line.
good.
That
That
was
was
his
one was
best
good.
line. He said that he made like the fans made him, he made himself. It's like, no, Vince made you. And it was like, oh man, that's the
That was
truth
good.
too. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
the
dude.
truth. So
Yeah, dude, he was Vince's prototype.
oh, I see what you did there. I see what you
Yikes.
did there. Man, yo, he was pretty terrorizing on the mic.
Oh my god,
Man.
dude.
All right, who's
Yeah,
gonna win this match?
sometimes you need a little stardust, sometimes you just need a
there,
little sprinkle a little stardust,
You guys want
Stardust
to
right
say a
there.
guess at the same time?
All right.
See what we all come up with? All right.
Here's
3,
my
2,
pick.
1,
Here's
say it, okay?
John
Okay.
Cena.
All right.
Oh, I messed it up, bro.
We were all gonna say it at the same time. I was gonna go 3, 2, 1. John Cena.
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
Yeah.
I
John
think
Cena.
now here's what I think is gonna happen. This is a part of that longevity story, that big thing I was talking about with like Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, all the guys related to The Rock or a part of The Rock, even Seth Rollins. I think becoming part of like this big, huge faction. I think The Rock is putting together. I think with John having the belt, his goal is to leave with a belt. Because remember in his promos he's been saying too, he's like the belt's coming home with me as I leave, like and everything like that.
See what I just did there? I
Would
just
you
did the
blow-
CM Punk reference.
Did you
Sorry,
blow
I
him a
had to do
kiss?
that.
All right.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk through the crowd.
So I think that he wants to retire with the belt. And I think Cody is going to, even if probably a couple other people might even come in, but I think Cody will get it back, but like right at the end of the year before John retires. That way he takes it away from him before he gets to retire, walk away with it, if that makes sense. Because that's John's goal wasn't just to get it and then like hand it over like when he was done. He was saying in his promos, like, I'm gonna walk out of here, curtain call with the belt on. And
Yeah.
I think John will win the belt. He will hold the belt for a good while throughout the year. And I think part of like the big story of him like getting it taken from him will be somebody, if not Cody, taking it from John at the end of the year, right before John leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have John winning, and I think
Okay.
John needs to win because this big of a turn, you cannot not capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking through the caliber of matches we can have in John Cena's last 6 months. You're talking about having a possibility of John Cena versus CM Punk, just
Yep.
right off the bat.
Oh.
One. You can run back a John Cena versus Randy Orton at one
Yep.
point.
There we go.
Money.
What?
You can run back. Yeah, you can run back a John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Yep.
And a lot of people are pushing for that one to happen at Paris. Because
Because of the
Paris
whole
does
thing with
great with
AJ.
AJ
Yeah.
Styles, phenomenal.
La 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 la.
Who's
la,
in
la.
Paris? AJ
La,
Styles.
la,
All
la.
right, continue.
Yeah, AJ Styles. Then you talking about if Gunther does lose and then the draft happens, you can move him around. You talking about John Cena versus Gunther? What? Okay.
We're missing one.
Did I miss
You want to
one?
know? You want to know what I'm going to say?
Can I say in case I just want to know if I'm thinking the same thing as you can? I'm thinking
Say it.
Roman.
Okay, Roman could be one, but
'Cause-
that's not the one I'm thinking.
Okay.
Who are you thinking?
All right, here we go. Can I tell a little story about what I think is going to happen at WrestleMania so I can build up to this? Because we all agree that John Cena is going to win.
All right, yeah, man. I want to hear a
Imagine,
story.
imagine the big dramatic walkout when it comes to the Cody Rhodes John Cena match. Who is the guy that John Cena, Abby, remind me because I'm a little bit foggy, it's a little bit late at night. Who is the guy that he is going to overtake when it comes to the amount of championship wins if he wins this title? Who is that guy's name again?
Uh, I'm not like too sharp on it, but if I can remember uh, his name is Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Does everybody remember when Cody had that dramatic walkthrough and Arn Anderson was in the back and he had that little pep talk with Arn Anderson and he did that whole thing and then he walked through the tunnel and did that whole thing? Imagine that man being Ric Flair, meeting up with Cody and being able to have like this look of, you got me. You have my record intact. I'm rooting for you, Cody. But
He
then
actually is too.
imagine John Cena going down that same path and looking at who he's going to eclipse. And it's him and Ric Flair having this eye to eye. And then he goes and he just stares at him, doesn't say a thing, just walks right past him and goes to the ring like he's about to walk right past him in the record books. Because the thing that he said in that promo, you don't just drop Ric Flair in the promo and not deliver with a Ric Flair cameo at WrestleMania. So Rick, I think, needs to have a cameo somewhere at WrestleMania because this is a championship record that we never thought was going to get broken, and it's about to be broken. And that's how it's going to be. It's going to be crazy.
You think John Cena versus Ric Flair could happen?
No.
Okay, I
I'm
thought
just
that's what
saying.
you're saying was like, oh man, what if we see that? I was like, bro,
no.
Ric Flair wrestle
This
again?
is
I was
the
like,
story. So I'm getting there. John Cena capitalized, like we said, and he wins his championship. He has his matches with CM Punk. It's pretty awesome to say that CM Punk, listen to this. Here's another thing that could happen. Abby, you know about this story. Money in the Bank, Chicago, CM Punk leaves with the championship. John Cena wins a secondary championship. CM Punk comes back. They both are holding belts together. What would happen if John Cena leaves with that belt? CM Punk is now the baby face and wins a title that is supposed to represent the WWE Championship. John Cena comes back and then they're doing it again. And guess what is pretty dang close to in the calendar? You have that match at Money in the Bank again. CM Punk versus John Cena.
That
Only
would be
now
amazing. It's
CM Punk is the
reversed.
baby
Yeah,
face and John Cena is the heel. John Cena
that would be
still
great.
wins. John Cena wins against all these people. But there's a man that we are not talking about that has not shown his face that started this whole thing at the Elimination Chamber. And you run back a third time, Rock
Rock
versus
Cena.
John Cena
Oh,
before the retirement.
so you think, so
And
John
that,
Cena actually turns on The Rock and he doesn't actually end as a heel?
I
What do you think?
think John Cena is going to drop the title to Cody Rhodes. And that it's going to set up John Cena to go back to being a babyface to go against a heel final boss Rock for a third part for the trilogy. I think that Cody Rhodes is the Luke Skywalker turning Darth Vader back to the light,
Anakin,
which is
yeah.
John Cena, to be able to bring in that match to happen. Sorry, that
so
was long, but I just think
no,
that
you're good.
yeah.
I the when Cody lost at 39, the question on my mind was, what do you do for the next 12 months with Cody? Because you can't take him out of the main event scene because you build him up and we know he's going to be up here or somewhere around here again next year. Okay, so what do you do? you had the luxury of Brock Lesnar, and you had
Mhm.
3 Brock Lesnar matches with Cody. At Backlash, at there was another pay-per-view there, and then there was SummerSlam,
Yeah.
the trilogy. Then after that was the whole they fought the Bloodline, I think, or something. No, it was the Judgment Day. They fought the Judgment Day. The
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
fall, Survivor Series, CM Punk comes back. That's all
Mhm.
that's happening. Then you got Cody wins the Rumble. Then he goes to WrestleMania and finally wins. Now you got the title on him. You're good. If you take the title off of him, sorry, when you take the title off of him to have Cena win, what do you do with Cody for 6 months? Now,
I he's
where do
got
you
he can fight Randy. I know it's not for the title,
where do you
but
put
it's
him?
like
So
I think he gets
here's my
hurt and
thing.
he's out for a while. That's my
You
guess.
think that's
he could
hard
take
to
a break. He could
your
take a
money
break.
making machine. You take him off of TV.
Just
He could take a
he can
break.
promo, he can't wrestle is what I'm saying. So he
Mm,
can show up,
Uh,
he can show up,
I
he
think he needs to
can
just go.
support, he can be like a guest commentator, like everything like that. Like he can talk about how like, man, as soon as my arm's not broken anymore, John Cena's getting his butt kicked. There's stuff that I think can be happening still because he shows up wearing a suit all the time. He's not always wrestling. So
yeah, he's gonna get into some action when he has his tracksuit on. Um,
That's a good question though, Abby. Like, what do you do with
yeah,
with
I don't
Cody
know what you
Rhodes?
do. Now,
let him win Money in the
there's
Bank. And then that's how and then let's say like The Rock keeps Cody from being able to get back into a shot with John Cena. Cause let's say John wins in a way that
bro, I think you're onto something now.
Ooh, Cody wins. Ooh,
let's say John wins the title in a certain fashion, and then Cody comes back Monday Night Raw after, and he's trying to call out saying like, you took that title from me, blah blah, in a way that you couldn't have done on your own or something like that, and he's promoting that way. And so let's say The Rock interrupts his promo and comes out there and says, you didn't want to become my champion. You didn't want to do this, that, and the other. What makes you think I'm going to give you another shot? Like, what makes you think that you're going to be the face of the promotion? And so then Cody's only way of getting back to it is by getting the Money in the Bank. That way he can cash in on his own terms and not The Rock's.
I got something. I got something. Abby, I know you know this. What I'm about to say. Do you remember Stone Cold versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17 in Houston, Texas, where we thought?
Are you proposing what I think you're proposing?
Listen to what I'm about to say. We had a crazy buildup of those two, right? The minute that
17.
17, that
Okay.
buildup with the Limp Bizkit song and all
Limp
that
Bizkit,
stuff,
yeah.
it was incredible.
My way or the highway.
Probably one of the best
Yeah.
promo packages of all time.
Number 1, bro.
Probably
Number 1.
number one, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that this whole time we thought it was going to be like Rock, Stone Cold, it's going to be a banger, banger, banger. And then the minute that it goes bing, 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 the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is a
And it was
no
no
disqualification,
yes.
and nobody saw that coming.
Mhm.
They could pull that again. And here's another prediction. I wish I could be like Paul Heyman and say it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler, because it'd be amazing if this is right. Rock gets involved, but I swear if they don't pull the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing this year, but the issue is this. But listen. Here's the issue that I have with it. If they pull Stone Cold in that means you have to have Cody win, and I don't
Yes.
think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Yeah. That's my
You
thing.
can't, if you want John Cena to win, you can't have Stone Cold come out and do what he's going to do with The Rock. And you can't have The Rock have a one up on Stone Cold. That's just, people would
He's
hate
got
that.
Travis Scott, dude.
Let's go slap somebody else's eardrum off. Like, yeah.
That'd be funny.
I wish that they can pull off the Stone Cold thing, but I think that would be a biggest tell of Cody's actually going to pull this thing off. But
Yeah.
looking at John Cena's schedule after WrestleMania makes me feel like he's going to win the title.
Yeah, he's
Because
scheduled for the SmackDown after.
I think he's scheduled for the Raw and the SmackDown after.
Is he? He's scheduled for Backlash. He's scheduled for
for
Clash in
Backlash.
Paris.
My
yeah.
thing is with what you're saying, you're like, I think it's telling if Stone Cold comes in that like Cody's gonna win. How many other people do you think also feel like that?
That feels that if Stone Cold comes
A
out, Cody's gonna
lot.
win. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be probably majority.
So could
You think that
we?
he's gonna swerve? You think Stone Cold's gonna go with The Rock?
No, that's not what
Oh,
I'm
okay. I
saying.
was gonna say no
No, no,
way.
no, no. I'm saying is I think that let's say like all Stone Cold's gonna do is keep The Rock out of it, and then let's say John Cena counters, kicks out or whatever from being pinned by Cody. Um, John maybe does another kick to the nuts, stuns Cody for like a minute, and then John turns around and he does something to Stone Cold to get Stone Cold out of the equation. Then The Rock comes back in, helps John win, so that way you can still bring in Stone Cold if you want to.
There
Is there
is a
anybody?
possibility that even if Stone Cold does show up, Cena still wins.
That's true.
However,
He could just like he just could just take
it
out
could
The
be that
Rock, and
that would
then
be that would be a great swerve in our minds for you to bring out the caliber of like for me, for example, when Undertaker showed up last year,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I knew Cody
it's
was winning.
over. Cody's
Yeah.
winning. Yep.
Even though on some level I probably thought, Cody might win this. I mean, it's a bloodlines rules match. Okay, everyone's coming out and the Rock's beating the crowd, and then the gong hit. I was like, Cody's winning.
Yeah.
Cody's winning. Cody's winning. Now they made it look good towards the end, and it was
Yeah.
great, fantastic, great storytelling.
You
So,
could.
but
Yeah.
you could bring Stone Cold and still have Cena win. It just
If
you
you
get
wanted
the
Tim, if you
pop
want to
of
go
the
with your
glass shouting, the glass shattering, and that pop.
in an
My
inside arena
goodness,
where it's gonna go nuts and the sound's gonna be trapped in
In
there,
goodness,
Vegas.
like
it's insane,
I
bro.
will say this, Tim. I can't believe I'm about to say this because of your crazy storytelling. But if you did do the Stone Cold thing just to eliminate The Rock, kind of like how Undertaker eliminated, The Rock and made it an even match. La- Last year, there was still one more person that made it uneven, and that was the swerve of getting even with Seth Rollins with the chair shot. If you did do what Tim said and you bring in Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman as like the underlining I'm on the Rock side person, and now Seth is not the hero, he's the bad guy, and he finishes Cody's story the opposite way a year later,
Because remember, The Rock
there's
said
your
he's
there's your Cody Seth Rollins afterwards WrestleMania story.
because remember, The Rock said he's 20 steps ahead. 20 steps is a lot of
Yeah.
steps to be ahead. So I think
Yeah.
Would you
there's
want to run?
something.
Would you want to run back Cody Seth?
I mean, I
You did it 3
they've done it
times
3 times, but
in.
I am true because there's no title to again, so I don't know. There's just a
I
lot
mean,
that
I
could
wouldn't be
happen.
mad at it. I
There's
mean,
just a lot that could
there's
happen.
definitely a different story to it because even in those 3 matches, Seth was technically a heel, but not really. It's
Yeah.
just he had to play the heel role with a returning babyface like Seth, and so I mean like Cody. But in this case, if you run Seth Cody again with this storyline Tim's proposing, you got Seth as a legit heel with The Rock behind him.
Yeah.
And
So
I
it's a
think
different.
with what you guys have also been saying with like Seth needing something new with his story, he's kind of getting a
He
little
needs
like.
something.
I think him going heel, like people are gonna. It's gonna be a love hate thing. People love Seth Rollins, like you're saying. Seth Rollins is a heel, like in like a good reason to be a heel.
Yeah.
I think that'll cause a lot of confusion amongst like where things are going to, which I think is like really
Oh,
good.
for
That's
real.
really good fire
Yeah.
for Triple H and The
The
Rock to play
TV,
with.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am in love with the idea of Cody having to get back to the title by Money in the Bank.
That
gonna
was a good one, Tim.
I'm kind of
That's a
locked
good
in
one.
on that happen. So if Cody loses and like The Rock keeps him away from getting to the championship again because of his refusal of selling a soul, I think that's Cody's way of getting back into it is by putting everything he's got into winning the Money in the Bank, and that's how he eventually
Mm.
cashes in. And like, I don't know, maybe like they'll
I'm
be like,
actually
Yeah.
go
I'm
ahead.
on board with him winning the Money in the Bank
I like
because
that.
now if Triple H is gonna keep this thing an annual thing, the King of the Ring gets a shot at SummerSlam. That's a way for someone else to get a title shot in the middle of the year,
Yeah.
like they did last year with Gunther with the King of the Ring tournament. he was able to get into the title picture at SummerSlam. Which,
Yeah.
if they do that this year, then I'm okay with you putting the Money in the Bank on a Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Because for me, my thinking is the Money in the Bank is supposed to be put on an upcoming superstar,
Yeah.
not an already established main event. So when they pulled the Drew McIntyre thing last year, I understood it from a story purpose once they did the cash in on the day of. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I see what you did this. You wasted a Money in the Bank, but I understand why you did it, and it made sense.
Yeah.
The only other
But to
person I
me,
could
like,
see winning Money in the Bank for like that, excuse me, for like that purpose would be someone like Penta. You know what I mean? Like Penta getting Money in the Bank, you know, for whatever reason he wants it. But I think for like long term, like down like the road, like to really help with this story, especially if Cody loses, obviously, like that's got to be the main factor. But I think that Monday after Raw, again with Cody going up there and like trying to do like his promo while he's all hurt and beat up from after the fight, The Rock interrupting and then telling him like, "You refuse to sell your soul to me. Now, Cody, I've got to refuse. I'm gonna refuse you getting a title shot again. Like I'm the
he's
final
gonna ask for his
boss."
rematch. The Rock says no. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Mhm.
Cody's got to like he's got to climb to get back, and I think how do you
Yeah.
climb to get back? With a
A ladder.
I would say this to your theory, and I know we probably want to wrap it up, but to your theory, Tim, I would say Seth being the person who sold his soul to The Rock with Paul Heyman, they ended up working with The Rock, would work if on some level John Cena comes out to explain that he never even sold his soul to The Rock.
That would be
He
Mm.
crazy.
just turned
Mm.
on
What
Cody
if
because it was just the
They
backup plan.
haven't. They haven't.
But the
what if
person who
John
sold his soul was actually Seth. And maybe he's the one who on night 2 is the one who actually costs Cody the match
what if John
because of
says
The Rock.
something like I what if John just says I owed someone a favor? Like in like this promo.
Like
He's like,
there's something like
Favor's
that.
the
getting
Like
only
I wouldn't
reason
be
why I
crazy.
surprised.
did that was because I owed him a favor. And then like everyone's like,
I,
yo,
I wouldn't be
favor.
surprised if if on Friday for SmackDown, Cena and Cody are in the ring and Cody brings it up again because they've only mentioned The Rock once in their exchanges. If they bring it up as like, you never explained why you sold yourself to The Rock, and Cena says, I never did. I never sold to The Rock.
Yeah, he's just
Someone
literally
else did.
being who he is because he's had some legitimate
I'm
reason,
just
like anger. You know what I mean? Some of that stuff he's
yeah.
been saying. And then like
Like who
two,
said I sold myself to The Rock? And then the crowd's like, oh shoot, who did sell their soul
Yeah,
to The
because the
Rock?
funny thing is, Cody, whenever he did say like, out of the two of us, who sold, and he
Who's
never said
never
anything about it.
guys, I think
We
yep.
we're
we
cooking,
heard
dude. I think we're cooking.
we never heard Cena say one rebuttal or any
Cena to
type of
this
thing
day
about
has
it.
not mentioned Rock.
Has
The
not
only one who
mentioned
mentioned it is
anything about The
Cody.
Rock.
So
Nothing.
I would actually be like excited if Cena said that. Like, who said I sold myself to The Rock? And then all WrestleMania weekend, we're like, who is it? Who did it?
Bro, we're all gonna think it could be Jay, it could be Seth. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think that's like a legit thing. That if they haven't thought of it, I wish I could go back in time and like write him a letter, be like, bro, make this happen.
Well, y'all, I mean, this has been an incredible time. I know it's time to probably wrap it up. We went pretty long, but I think we had so much material we had to get it all out there.
There's a lot to
I guess
digest.
yes, I'm going to say one more thing to do, and we have to keep it short and sweet. So like, just it's almost like the NBA on TNT where they do like a little like crazy prediction on like a little um like a piece of paper or whatever or something like that, and they kind of like it was like a what are those things called? Like that you write down on a pen pad, like a sticky note. They get a sticky note and they wrote it down. They put it on their wall and say like these are the crazy predictions of the NBA. You don't have to write anything down. I just want you to say it. So like,
Oh,
you
okay.
get, yeah, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm just going to say you get like one sentence. We don't have time to talk about it, but you just have one crazy thing that you think is going to happen this weekend at WrestleMania that you think that It's just crazy far-fetched, but there's a possibility it could happen. So we each get one. Abby, I'm going to have you go first.
Travis Scott does a frog splash on Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Travis
Tim, you
Scott flies from the top, and Cody Rhodes. Yeah.
Okay,
My
Tim, you
crazy
got one?
theory. My crazy theory. I think Jay comes up with a new finishing move. I
Whoa.
think he's got something else in like the bag that he's been working on that he's going to reveal at WrestleMania. That's my thing.
Is it a gore?
I can tell you one thing, man. It ain't a super kick.
So
I-
a gore is a spear.
Gore's a spear, yeah.
He does a spear already, though.
I know. That's why
he said that. It's the gore. It's called a gore now. Okay, this is a little bit weird, but here's my prediction. Only because I saw a tweet of something. I predict that Living in Color, who sings Cult of Personality, is going to actually play it live for CM Punk at WrestleMania.
That'd be sick.
I think that they're going to do a live thing
Didn't they
again,
do it
like they
once?
did.
It was at a WrestleMania. They did it.
It was
once,
at a
right?
WrestleMania. It was the one against the Undertaker, and
Undertaker,
they talked. They said like they put out a tweet about this time so many years ago we did this, and so I was just like,
That would be dope.
And
he's in the he's in the main event.
There's gonna be a lot
I
of
think
eyes
that-
on the bands. They're gonna be able to.
I think that's my
publicity out of
prediction.
it.
Is like
That's a good.
I'd love
point.
to see them come out and do that for CM Punk. That'd be great. So
I've got two little bonus questions that are really really short, just
Okay,
to kind of make
okay.
you be a little shocked here.
Okay.
One of them actually. Here's the thing: who do you think will have the best entrance? So it kind of fits into that. So who
Good.
do you think out of everybody, both nights, who will have the best entrance?
I'm gonna give a biased answer and then an unbiased answer. So
Okay.
biased, Roman Reigns
Okay.
is gonna have the
Mm.
best one. The best one. Now unbiased, yeah. Unbiased, I think Cena does something incredibly cool. I think Cena might have the best entrance.
Okay.
That's an unbiased. But
Okay.
Kenan.
I think that Cena's going to be the one, and the way I'm predicting this is that he's been talking about like I'm not going to change my music. I'm not going to do that. I think he's going to change his music at WrestleMania.
whoa, really? That'll be crazy.
I think that he'll change his
Yes.
music at WrestleMania.
He hasn't actually been
Maybe
acting
something-
in movies. He's
Maybe
been in
some
the studio this whole time.
conglomeration of all three.
Maybe
Mhm.
a slow down, really dark version of My Time Is Now. Maybe he goes back to Thugonomics, Cena, like, but something I think he's gonna change something, or maybe it's an integrating of all of since it's his
Yeah,
last
like a
WrestleMania of all of those
combination.
two themes. Like it's some type of like, or if you want to go with Travis Scott, you somehow make My Time Is Now with a Travis Scott like style like Fiend thing. Maybe he is the Fiend. Maybe he is the you know what I mean. So yeah,
I think I'm trying to think of like again like the entirety. It's kind of hard not to pick like one of the main events, but I'm gonna try to pick someone not in the main event who will have a cool like walkout.
okay.
I do think someone from the Fatal 4-Way. I think Finn Balor is gonna have a really sick walkout. I think that's. I
Pentas
think
might
that
be really good too.
Penta. Yeah, that's true. I think Finn Balor.
His is already good, so you just expand on that would be crazy.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing Finn Balor's gonna have a sick walkout, and then I think obviously Cody Rhodes will also have like a pretty legit long walkout too. So
I was gonna ask that whose entrance is the longest this weekend? My money's on Cody. Cody's
Cody.
gonna have the longest entrance.
yeah,
I think it's Cody.
His song's gonna repeat 3 times.
my father.
Cody's is pretty
said-
long. Cody's was pretty long last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And he had that like helmet mask on thing. Remember that?
yeah, the skull mask. Yeah.
Okay, then this is the last
yeah.
question.
to be fair, he had 2 entrances last year too. So
He did. Yeah.
This is last question. Just be goofy here. How many times do you think we'll hear the word fiend?
112.
112. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can have a fiend counter going, but it's gonna be kind of tough because night 1 I'm gonna barely be able to watch because of service stuff. But
Me too.
120.
Yeah.
Type it in our
Okay,
text
you said
chat, too.
okay. You're saying 120? Okay, let me see something real quick. I can't believe I'm about to do this real quick. Let me see
Are you gonna
here.
find out how many times it says it in the actual song?
Well, I'm thinking to myself, not only like the times it plays in like the audience, but like TV commercials, like and like
I
the little
know.
promotions they're doing,
And
like
we're talking about all weekend?
all weekend.
I think they're going to, because there's 2 themes, one Saturday, one Sunday. I think. I'm not sure on that.
Okay, I'm gonna guess. Keep on, I'm doing the math right now.
That song's gonna play fully, like probably like at least twice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10.
I'm gonna say 152 times.
152. Okay,
152.
I'm gonna go
Do you
higher than
even
both of
dare?
you. I'm gonna
Okay.
say like I'm gonna say 185.
Okay.
I'm gonna go that just a little bit higher. I was thinking about going like 3 something, but I was like, that's a little too much. But
So you're talking about like if like Michael Cole is speaking about the next match coming up and the song is playing in the background, that counts as if they're saying the word fiend in the background.
if you can audibly hear it,
Okay.
I wanna count it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna change my
I think
answer.
100. Okay, you're gonna change your answer.
I'm gonna say 360.
360.
360?
Alrighty.
360. Because the song, I just counted the lyrics. The song says it 66 times. So
I don't think they're gonna play the whole song
You know
though. So
what's
I only
crazy
did
about that?
like I did so what I did was
66 times.
oh
word
my
fiends.
gosh.
I think I
Stop
rounded
it.
up. I think it was like 62, 63, but it might have been 66.
So the
I
way I
missed a
did the
few.
math was if you do it the 19 times that they say it at the beginning of it before verse 1 times there's 16 matches. So if there's 2 themes, you just do 8 of them. So I did 19 times 8, which is 152. So that's how I got that because I don't think it's I mean,
I'll go lower. I'll go 300. 300.
300.
okay.
You got
That's
locked
it.
in,
That's your
man. You
final
locking in?
answer? You're locked
I'm
in?
locked in. I'm
Locked
locked
in
Locking
at
in.
in.
3? Okay. Okay.
Alrighty. I'm texting to the chat.